Welcome to the state championship edition of the Cox's Construction Coaches Show here on ESPN 1240 The Boss. I'm Leland McCray, and we are now joined by Coach Robert Casto of the Riverheads Gladiators as they are getting ready to play in this state championship game against Galax. Coach, thanks for coming on with us.
I appreciate it.
So I want to talk about this team in general this year. What's something that stands out this year for this team that you really like about this team, maybe different than years past?
Well, they're going to come to work every day. They got their own little ways they do things. They're a little bit crazy sometimes, and they're a little rambunctious, and that just typical teenager stuff. They got a lot of personality. Sometimes it's grates on me a little bit being an old guy, but when it's time, they're going to lay it on the line. When game time rolls around, they're going to be ready to play, and there's no nonsense about them. And but sometimes it drives you crazy.
It seems like your team, it's obvious that they have a lot of success, but they have fun playing. You could see that last week's game. As serious as they are, and they're taking care of business and they're successful at it, there's still moments of laughter and fun. That's something has stood out to me with this group, and I think that aligns up. Your thoughts on that and how they have fun playing even during the big games and when it's stressful and you're against an opponent.
Well, the number one goal of sport is having fun. I don't care what sport you're playing. You have to be having fun. Why do it if you're not having fun? Obviously winning is fun, but the whole process of us playing and our practices and it's all about fun. We want our kids to enjoy it. We want them to be relaxed and to go out there and have a good time. We don't want them to be crazy doing nonsense stuff, but enjoy the moment, enjoy playing the game because it should be fun. It shouldn't be all about stresses and all that stuff. It should be fun, and I think we do our best to try to make it fun. Now, we have, we're pretty tough on situations, but that's the name of the game.
I think one moment that stood out last week was when, Bennett Dunlap, he's played a good quarterback all year, gave a good ball to Landon Leitner, and he was 2 yards out of the end zone, and he thought he was inside the end zone. I thought that was a good moment, and you guys kind of shared a gesture there if you got to go 2 more yards. But, that was a great play, and it highlighted, the comfort that you have with your passing game this season.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny situation. I did tell Landon, you're on the 2-yard line, and everybody gave Landon a hard time because he's the first guy to give everybody else a hard time. But, we have thrown the ball well. Landon's had a good year so far. Bennett's thrown the ball well. Landon's got 20 catches for over 500 yards, and he's got 6 receiving touchdowns. He's had a really good year, but he's also a good blocker. He's kind of overshadows the fact that he plays, catches balls, and everybody thinks he's a wide receiver. He plays a lot of tight end, and he does a really good job of blocking on that side. But again, the passing thing, we've thrown for almost 1,000 yards, and we're confident in our passing game.
But obviously the rushing game here at Riverheads is the traditional power of this offense, and it just seems whoever you give the ball to, you're gaining positive yards. A lot of weeks we talk about Caden Cook-Cash, and not that he didn't have a big game last week, but, here's Burton with a huge game last week, and you get big carries from Luke Bryant and even your quarterback running the ball, and Aiden Miller. Talk about that ability to just have that confidence in whoever you give the ball to that your line is going to create that space for them, and they're going to take full advantage of it.
Well, our offense is designed around 4 backs, and you can't set one side to stop us because we can go either way. We can run the exact same plays to our quick side as we can to our strong side. So we're a duplicate offense, and it makes it really difficult for teams to set their defense to one side of the field, and we see it a lot, and we see a lot of people that design their defense to stop one particular side, and then a guy like Luke or Caden in the past have come from the other side, and our other side is just as good. We have a strong side and what we call a quick side, and probably our strong side is a little bigger, maybe not, but we can go either way, and then we can go up the middle. We're diverse. We can run right, and we can run left, and we can run up the middle.
Defense last week against Essex, you kept them off the board for a long time. You gave up one big play, but otherwise really kept them behind the 8 ball throughout that football game. Talk about your defense's ability this season and how much better it's gotten from the beginning of the year.
We've had a lot of holes, just like offense. We had a lot of positions on defense that we had to fill we lost 2 linebackers, and our defense is really predicated on our linebacker play. And if our linebacker play is not good, we struggle defensively. But I thought the kids that have come along, Cole Burton and Logan Hostetter, have played well. We've played several different linebackers in there at different times. We'll play Caden in the middle sometimes. Sometimes we play Logan in the middle. It just all depends. I mean, we played, Brennan Fortune at middle linebacker, all 5'3" of him against Stuart Straft. He did a great job. So it just all depends on personnel of what we're getting ready to play against as to what we feel like, where we feel like we need to put different people.
So looking at this Galax matchup, obviously you have familiarity with them, with playing them the last 2 state championship games, playing against them here, I guess, 4 times in the state championship game, 5 times. This is the 5th time overall. What do you expect out of Galax that's maybe different than what you've seen before? Where do you think they're going next in trying to beat Riverheads?
I'm not 100% sure I can answer that question, but I do know that they're going to be well coached. They're going to be a physical bunch of kids. We know what they're going to do offensively, defensively. They're going to come after us and they're going to put pressure on us in different places. Offensively, the quarterback runs the ball really well. He throws the ball well. He's a dual threat kind of kid. They got a good tailback. Their offensive line is everybody back from last year's team except one. Obviously, they're good. They're a good Russian football team, but they also throw the ball extremely well. So, we're going to have our hands full. We know that.
Let's talk about that quarterback. I mean, last year he had a heck of a day receiving the football throughout the season and including that state championship game. Here he is behind center and providing a little bit different of a threat taking the snaps than Ian Pickett, great quarterback last year, but here's Ashworth and he's playing it his own way. Talk a little bit more about their quarterback and what you see him doing on film.
He does a lot of different things. He throws the ball well. He can throw the football. I'm not going to compare him to the Pickett kid from last year as far as just arm strength and some other things. But he's a different kind of quarterback. He's more of an elusive kind of guy. He's going to roll out and get on the run and break big runs if he gets out of the pocket. I think he's one of those guys. Most quarterbacks look to throw first. This kid looks to run first and then throw second if he needs to. And that's kind of a dangerous thing for you when he's going to run the ball. Most quarterbacks, they have a mindset that I'm going to throw it. I'm going to get out of pressure and I'm going to roll out, but I'm going to look down the field to throw the football. I think this kid, he looks to find a place to get moving.
Talk about which aspect of the football game you're most worried about succeeding in on Saturday to win this football game. I know you generally say up front, and that can be your answer now, but just what area of the game can a fan watch and understand that it's going well for Riverheads?
Well, if we're scoring touchdowns, I think it's going pretty well. Our whole goal is real simple. We want to have one more point than the other team does. I don't know exactly how we're going to get to that point, but that's the number one name in the game, not trying to be smart about the whole thing. But, we're going to have to score. That's the bottom line. We're going to have to score, and we're going to have to get some stops on them because they are a good offensive team. And defensively, I think, they got what it takes to slow us down.
So obviously you're not your first rodeo here. You've been to this game 10 times, or this is the 10th trip to the game. You've won all but one of them. What's different about this week leading up into this game, prior to the game here, than it was, your first time in year 2000? How are you different as a coach? How's your approach to this different than it was, 21 years ago?
Well, I just figured we'd do it again, so I didn't really worry about it 21 years ago. I don't think I enjoyed it 21 years ago. I was too caught up in everything that was going on, and I think now we've been there, we've done that. Enjoy it and look around and smell the hot dogs and enjoy the atmosphere of what what it is. And I tell our kids every year, we've done it before, but this could be the last time you ever do it. And people don't understand that. They think they're kind of become spoiled people about the whole Riverheads football situation. You don't know. This could be the last time Riverheads goes to the state championship in 20 years, or 5 years, or 30 years. Who knows? If you think that it's going to be an every year thing, better enjoy it, because I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy every one that we've had. The worst one that I had was the first one because I never enjoyed it. I never enjoyed everything that was going on. I got too caught up in me and everything else that was around me. Not anymore. Our kids have fun. We enjoy the game. It's just another game to us. It's not it's not the end of the world. It's just a game. And, we're going to play the best we can, and if we come out on top, then we will. If we don't, then, life will go on the next day. So.
How do you find that balance with these young men who are reaching the end of the season? They know it's their last game either way. They know it's a big one. You have a number of kids on the team that haven't made this trip before. How do you keep them grounded but still, reinforce, that it is a big day and something that you've been reaching out for? It's one of your goals to start the season.
I tell them real simple. We've reached our goal. This is what we work for. This is what we lift weights for. This is what we strive for. And now it's here, and now enjoy it. And, this is the last game. And I don't make a big deal about this being the state championship and it's all this and all the bells and whistles and jumping through hoops and doing all. It's a normal everyday thing. We go to practice. We do the same thing today that we did yesterday or last week or 2 months ago or whatever. Our approach to the game doesn't change from 1 week or one game. This game is no bigger than last week. It's just the last one. It's the last game of the season. And, I know our kids are going to be probably emotional and excited and all the other things that go along with it. But the biggest thing is just try to keep them grounded, keep them focused on the task at hand. And just like I tell our players every single day, when you play games, you play one play at a time. And no matter what happened to you, you refocus and you get started again on the next play. Whether it's bad or good, you can't sit around and worry about what happened to you before. And you can't control what's getting ready to happen 3 plays from now. Just live in the moment and get yourself ready for the next play.
Having been in the locker room with you as my coach, I know that your message to the players is everything's normal and everything you just said there. For you on a personal note, you and your staff here, you've coached in a lot of these. You've had a lot of success. You could win the 9th here. Either way, it's a long string of success. A lot of records at hand. You have a long winning streak going. You have state championships consecutively here. I'll give you the opportunity to tell me that it doesn't matter to you. How do you think about all the success that has mounted up here throughout your career?
I don't really think a whole lot about it. You've heard me say this 1,000 times, and I really don't. It's a pretty awesome thing to be where we are and to do the things that we've done. And for anyone to sit around and say, well, I knew we were going to, that'd be a bold-faced lie. No one knew that we would get to this point. I certainly didn't, but I have enjoyed, where we are right now. Our coaches work extremely hard. Our kids work extremely hard. It's an awesome place to be. It's an awesome feeling. And, like I say, I don't sit around and think about numbers as far as that goes, and I never will. So, I'm not sure exactly what to finish the whole thing with. I just know that I enjoy it. I enjoy the kids, and I've enjoyed the moment. And when you reach what you're shooting for, the ultimate number one goal every year, and you achieve it, you should be proud. And I am. I'm proud of the accomplishments that our kids and our coaches have put forth here, not only this year, but last year and the years, before this. And that's what I take from this whole thing. I don't ponder and pontificate about all this stuff that we've experienced around here. It's been pretty wild. It's been a wild ride.
Well, Coach, congratulations on making it to this point. Hopefully you'll have success on Saturday for our home listeners here, and hopefully we're talking to you after the football game with another Riverhead State Championship.
Well, we hope so. That's our plan.
All right. Well, that has been Coach Robert Casto here on the ESPN 1240 Cox's Construction Coaches Show. We'll be back with more after this.
Looking for a really good plumbing service? Do you need your water heater serviced, faucets fixed? Do you have a clogged drain or just a slow runner? Well, Cox Construction in the Shenandoah Valley is your complete plumbing service. They work on well pumps, clogged drains, leaky faucets, and they use their hot water draining cleaning system to get it done correctly. They use their drain line jetting equipment to clean your pipes like new. Call Cox Construction today in the Shenandoah Valley if you're needing a good plumbing service company. Call them at 540-943-8723 and let Cox Construction treat you like family.
In today's real estate market, many buyers are buying as is for informational purposes only or skipping the home inspection altogether. Do not skip the home inspection. Call Aztec Home Inspections. With Aztec, even as is gets you protected when Aztec Home Inspections conducts your inspection. Call 540-830-0259 or go online at aztechomeInsp.com and schedule now.
All right, Chip Crable here, back with you for the
Cox Construction Coaches Show here on ESPN 1240. Getting ready for today's group or Class 1 state championship here in Salem at Salem City Stadium. I'm joined by the Galax Maroon Tide head football coach Shane Allen. And Coach Allen, welcome to the Cox Construction Coaches Show here on ESPN Radio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, Coach, coming off a big win here in the state title game, you know, you're having an opportunity, as I mentioned, coming off a win against the Holston Cavaliers, where, you know, your team defensively played very well. And I'm sure that as a coach, you were really enthused by the defensive effort that y'all put in that football game.
Yeah, you know, I thought defensively we did a good job of creating turnovers, and you know, I think that was going to be big for us that last week, because you know they're a good football team, and they are really good. They're really good defensively too. So you know, it was big for us to get turnovers and get the ball in there and you know take over in their territory for us to try and create points for us. And you know, so I thought our kids did a really good job of executing the game plan and making some plays and creating some turnovers.
You know, Coach, defenses seem to be really your all's calling card this season, you know, only giving up 12 points a ball game. And, you know, you do score, you know, you're right about the 28 points per game. And, you know, you've had a good schedule as well. Talk a little bit, I mean, has defense been the you know, the main reason why this team has had such a solid season?
Yeah, I feel like the kids we had coming back, I thought we had a chance to be really good in our front seven defensively, because we returned almost all the starters except maybe two out of our front seven, and then you know, and kind of on the offensive side, our offensive line, we returned all of our offensive linemen besides one. So I felt like, you know, those are the two things that would give us a chance to be competitive in football games until, you know, our skill guys who were, you know, just, you know, inexperienced, hadn't had a lot of playing time, could get, you know, mature and you know, get the speed of the game and kind of, you know, get used to playing. And you know, and then those guys on the back of that defense have done a good job of, you know, of learning and getting better week by week. So, you know, it's been a process, but you know, I feel like our front seven defense against the run would be our strong suit this year.
Well, Coach, you know, big ball game, state final. You know, of course, Galax and Riverheads, no stranger to a state championship football game, whether it be in Salem or whether it be at another site. Talk a little bit about, you know, the renewed match here between the Gladiators and, you know, the Maroon Tide here for a state title.
But, when they got a great football program, and, you know, they got, you know, Coach Casto does a wonderful job with their program, and, you know, it's a great matchup. I feel like, you know, it's a great opportunity for us. You know, you want to prove yourself, and you want to show how far you've come as a program. You know, you got to go take on the best teams, and we're just lucky to have made it this far and get the opportunity to see them again. And it doesn't matter how many times you play them; they're always going to they're always putting new wrinkles. You know, this will be the third year, and we face them in a row in a state championship. And you know, he does a good job of, you know, he's got his core stuff that he's going to do no matter what, but he always puts the little wrinkles in here and there that, you know, we've got to, you know, try to, you know, it's like a chess match. You got to try to figure out, you know, his moves, so how we're going to counter it. And so, you know, like I told our boys, you know, it's a great opportunity to go out and, you know, to show what, you know, that we've worked hard to, and that, you know, we lift weights just like they do, and we practice like they do. So this is a great opportunity for us to, you know, showcase that, you know, that we've worked hard to and deserve the opportunity.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you know, if you talk about some state powerhouses in football in the state of Virginia, the Maroon Tide of Galax is definitely a program that is mentioned, especially, you know, with the results that you all have been able to put up here, going to as many state title games as you all have been, and then, of course, having another opportunity here this weekend as well. What do the Maroon Tide, Coach, have to do this Saturday afternoon to be able to, you know, have an opportunity to win today's football game?
we just got to play discipline, read our keys, do our job. I tell our kids all the time, you ain't got to be the best. You ain't got to be the best football player on the field. Just be the best version of yourself and just do what you've been coached to do and do your job and know that the other 10 guys out there on the field with you at the time are going to do their job. And so I think for us to be successful, we're going to have to be disciplined. We're going to have to, stay on our keys and not try and get our eyes, not fall for all the eye candy and limit the big plays. I think, the thing about, what makes Riverheads tough to defend is they throw the ball really well too. So, your guys get aggressive in the run game to try and get stops, and then all of a sudden now here comes a pass out that it's for a big play. So then now your kids are they're worried about the pass and they're not playing as aggressive defensively. So they just got to be disciplined in their keys and understand they're a great football team and they're going to make plays and they're going to get big plays, and we're going to try and get big plays, and that it's just got to line up and trust that we put you in the best position that you can make a play and trust your keys and not worry about what happened to play before. Learn from it and just we're going to limit the big plays and the emotions of playing in the state championship game. We just got to not get caught up in all the hoopla, and then if they get up or anything like that, you just got to stay the same even keel and play it out.
Well, Coach, we definitely wish you the best. Here should be a great ball game here this afternoon. Congratulations on a tremendous season, another state title appearance. No matter what anybody says or how you slice it, Galax definitely has a state powerhouse in football. With all the results that you all put up, and we wish you the best, Coach.
Well, I really appreciate it, and appreciate everything you're doing for the program.
All right, that was head football coach of the Galax Maroon Tide, Shane Allen. When we come back, we will have more. You're listening to high school football here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Looking for a new vehicle? Look no further than Right Way Hyundai. Right now, get 0% for 60 months on most 2021s on the lot and 1.9% on most 2022s on the lot. Right Way Hyundai provides all Hyundai owners with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. That's a lot of added assurance and confidence. Come check out the all-new 2022 Hyundai Tucsons at the dealership today. The best way, the only way. That's Right Way, 2551 West Main Street in Waynesboro. Or visit on the web at rightwayhyundai.com. Right Way Hyundai, the better way to buy a car.
Dave Brooks Electric. No job too small or too big. For more than 25 years, Dave Brooks Electric has served the electrical needs of residents, commercial, and industrial clients in and around Augusta County. And you can count on quality work at competitive rates. Wiring for new construction and remodels, service upgrades, bucket truck services, and more. When you need a qualified electrician, Dave Brooks Electric responds quickly. Their team of professionals are waiting to earn your business. For additional information, browse the website at davebrookselectric.com or give them a call today at 540-280-4483.
All right, Chip Crable, Joe Deck, and Alila McCray here, back with you here for the Class 1 State Championship High School football game, where the Riverheads Gladiators are looking to win their 6th state title in a row here, taking on the Maroon Tide of Galax. And guys, we're just a few minutes from kickoff here. Joe, Riverheads, so much pageantry, an opportunity to make huge history here today as well. Could be their 50th win in a row, which would be the number 1 tops for the current winning streak, active winning streak in America. And then, of course, just 6 opportunity to win their 6th state championship in a row. That is just remarkable.
And the 9th overall, and that puts them in elite company. Did he say Joe there? I'm sorry. 9th overall, which would put them right behind Salem and right behind Hampton. Well, not right behind Hampton, but right behind Salem. So impressive. So, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, Leland. But yes, it would
Took the words out of his mouth.
It would be a big moment for Riverheads. There's a lot of history here, obviously, not just the winning streak that we talk about, even though that is honestly something, in my opinion, that is even more impressive than anything else, the fact that they could have the nation's longest winning streak. But to have 6 straight, which builds on the state record for most consecutive state championships, to build on closing the gap on that state all-time record, it just goes. And the fact that, we talk about it, Leland brings it up. Only one kid on this team has ever lost a game, and he graduates after this game. So after that, if they win today, there will be no one on the varsity roster that has lost a game at Riverheads High School, which is amazing in itself. So there's a lot on the line here other than just the Class 1 state championship for Riverheads in terms of storylines.
And it's just a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for the Gladiators here this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. Riverheads, familiar foe, though, with Galax, Leland. The Maroon Tide coming in. I mean, this is their 5th state tournament, ball game against each other. They've had 4. This will be their 4th state championship game. And then, of course, which is 1 and 3. But then, of course, they met as well. No, excuse me, this is their 6th, correct?
1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th meeting.
5th meeting, correct?
4th state championship.
Right. And then they met in the state semis as well.
Right. And that was the first 2 meetings. The first meeting was the Galax win 7-6, nail biter. Riverhead scores with 0 time on the clock. They don't get the 2-point conversion to win the game. The next year, 2016, they come out with an offensive explosion. They win in the state semis to go to the state championship and start this streak of 5 state championships. So, can this be a bookend, or is this just one of many? The future will tell us, but it will be interesting to see what we get here between these 2 teams that know each other so well at this stage of the season. They just played in May 1st. They played each other at Riverheads, and Riverheads ran away with it, 65-29. Riverheads beat them on the ground, beat them through the air, beat them every which way. What adjustments from both teams do they have for today's matchup? And I think, the pressure's on Galax there to make up ground, to make up that deficit that they lost by there of the 36 points. They have to find a way to make that less. It's going to be a lot of defense that they need to do that. They're not going to outscore them in the 60s, and then also try to find more scoring of their own.
Joe, as far as taking a look at, Riverheads here, what the game plan looks like for the Gladiators, obviously it's doing exactly what got them to this ball game.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of ground game and just crush their will. I mean, and the dangerous part about Riverheads, I know Coach Allen was talking about, our goal was to take away Smiley last year and say 33 has to beat us. And then, like Leland said, he did. And so
he did,
the problem
and the guy he didn't want to beat him too. Yeah.
So the problem is Riverheads has 3 players on their team that if Riverheads wants, will have 100 yards rushing today. That's the problem that Galax is going to face.
Yeah, they're definitely, easily Riverheads can have 2 100-yard rushers today. I mean, going to be interesting to see how Caden Cook-Cash plays today. And then, of course, their fullback, Cole Burton. He can have a big night as well. We have seen Galax won the toss, and they deferred here into the second half.
Yeah, and they took the wind with the wind early in this football game. And so Riverheads will be starting this game against the wind, but they will be receiving the football. They like that. That plays into their hand. That's how Coach Casto wants to approach football games. He wants his offense on the field first. So right there, Riverheads feeling comfortable with how that went.
Galax has won the kickoff and is deferred to the second half. Riverhead will receive the open kickoff.
if memory serves, they did that 2 years ago in this game too. They decided to go against the wind in the second and fourth quarters.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't for the second, but don't they still get that decision? It's not automatic. In
In the second half, I think they do get the decision. That's correct.
They don't get to choose. Riverheads will get to choose. Riverheads will go with the wind in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they should.
I'm sort
I
of
guess
baffled by that already.
the philosophy here is you want to start off good if you're Galax, and you want to be able to.
You don't want to be
points.
battling Riverheads and the wind to start the football game.
I guess that's the philosophy. I'd rather have that choice in the fourth quarter and go with the wind.
I want to watch special teams right here starting off with this kickoff. I think Galax will be looking for extra possessions. Every kickoff, every punt is an opportunity for them to fake or pooch or something.
Yeah, Alberto Vera is going to kick the ball to Landon Leitner. Leitner gets it at the 25. He's already out past the 40. To the 44, and that's the way we're going to start the Class 1 state championship football game. Riverheads is going to take the football out to their own 44-yard line with terrific field position. Riverheads is wearing their black pants. They have red tops, red helmets with white numerals, and Galax is in their white pants, white tops, white helmets with their burgundy or maroon, I should say maroon numerals and striping on the helmet. Here, the quarterback, Bennett Dunlap's going to take it right up the middle, but we do have encroachment on Galax to start this football game. So immediate penalty against Galax here on first down.
Yeah, that was, what Riverheads did to start the game last week against Essex. They, that real hard set that's been in their playbook for 26 years. And the defense jumped last week twice in a row, Essex did. Here, Galax starts the game the same way Essex did last week, jumping off sides to start the game.
So a free 5 yards, of course. If you're Galax, that's the last thing you want to do, Joe, if you're going to even have an opportunity here today.
Yeah, but I think part of that, too, is they want to be aggressive and try to stop that ball carrier as soon as he gets it.
They should.
Here they give the ball to Burton up the middle, and Cole Burton is going to pick up maybe a yard or two. Not much happening as Galax is able to bring him down. It's going to be second and about 3. The ball resting at the Galax 48-yard line.
Yeah, just that's fullback up the middle, and here's second and short because of that penalty. That's a decent defensive stop. They had the line clogged up there, but you're still sitting second and pretty right here for Riverheads.
Of course, number 57, Riley Joe Vault is the number we're going to call here tonight, a name we'll call a lot here for Galax here this evening. Here's Aiden Miller going to sweep it to the right side, and he's going to cut it up in, get close to the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at the 46, but that is going to move the chains. So Miller gets a first down on the sweep to the right side for the Gladiators, and that gives them a new set of downs.
And we see Aiden Miller, and we also see Luke Bryant run from that same running back position throughout the season, with Aiden Miller usually starting the football games, but you'll get a healthy dose of Luke Bryant in there as well, along with Caden Cook-Cash on the other side, along with Cole Burton at the fullback position.
Here they're going to go Leitner spread out to the right. They'll put Miller in motion. They'll do the crisscross here, and it's going to be hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage, and they rush the the running back backwards, and that's going to be Caden Cook-Cash on the carry, and he's probably going to lose maybe a half yard. They did bring move him back, but they're going to mark his forward progress, and it's going to be only a loss of about a yard.
And those are the kind of stops Galax wants to see all day, where Riverhead's offense doesn't get their 4 yards in a cloud of dust, where they get stopped at the line of scrimmage. They don't even get through that hole. Riverheads has to create holes there. That's the basis of this offense, is those linemen creating holes right there.
Bring up 2nd and 11. They'll roll Dunlap back. Dunlap looking deep down the field. Here's the pass. It's going to be over the head, down the middle over for his intended receiver, and that's Burton. Cole Burton was the fullback, got out of the middle. We do have a flag on the play, though.
Holding on the offense has already been the signal. So now Galax will decide, do they want 3rd and 11 or do they want 2nd and 21? So a decision to make right there for Galax. But, Bennett Dunlap, we talked a lot about him in the pregame. He threw the football to the right spot there. It just got a little bit high from him. That safety started to become part of the situation there, but it falls incomplete harmlessly. Now here's Riverheads after Galax decides to decline that penalty with a 3rd and 11.
So they did decline the penalty. Going to make it 3rd and 11. The ball rested at the Galax 47-yard line.
Good job of the Galax defense here.
They'll go 2 receivers to the right. The ball's on the left hash mark. They're going to line up tight. They'll give it to Dunlap. Dunlap going to go deep down the field. Here's the pass up, and it's intended for Leitner. It goes through his hands as Leitner had to come back forward. Landon Leitner sort of had to come back forward. It was a good play by the defender over there, and that's going to bring a 4th and long, and Riverheads is going to bring on their punting unit.
Yeah, and I think you punt here from midfield because it's 4th and long here. We are used to Coach Casto. He pretty much as soon as he gets on the good side of the field, he usually goes for it on 4th, but no one it's 4th and 11. Seeing how those last 2 plays go, no one it's early. I like the decision to punt it away right here. I was kind of surprised he didn't run the ball there and try to make it a more gettable 4th down if needed, but he's going to punt it away, and that'll be his decision.
Kate Cook Cash going to take the snap. Here's the kick. It's going to be an end over end, going to bounce at the 24 and go straight up. It draws straight up. It will die right at the 20-yard line. So the ball checked up straight up in the air, and it comes to rest right at the 20, and that's where Galax will take over at their own 20-yard line here for their first possession in the first quarter.
And you talk about the recipe for success for Galax, that was it. You know, that was a great defensive first possession. The penalty is really what caused Riverheads to get a good first down there. All the other runs, pretty well stopped, not big yardage gain by Riverheads. So great job to start the game by the Galax defense.
So number 9, Ian Ashworth's going to bring his offensive unit out. He's a senior 5'10 quarterback. He hands the ball up the middle, and not much happening there as there'll be Tendon Tucker on the carry.
And Tucker last week, 17 carries, 80 yards just last week. So he's going to get the ball a lot tonight on the season, about 900 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns. So
it was actually Reeves on the carry. I'm sorry, it was Devontae Reeves.
Well, he had
number
different
7.
stats. He had different stats last week.
I'm sorry about that. It was Reeves. Reeves lined up behind Ian Ashworth, the quarterback. They have a receiver to each side.
Reeves had about 900 yards of his own this season.
They'll put Josiah White in motion on the left side. Here they're going to run the football to Reeves again on the right side. Has a little room off the right edge. Going to pick up maybe about 3 yards. Not much after that as he brought down by a host of Riverheads Gladiators. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Maroon Tide.
And Reeves there getting another tackle or another carry, and he was a big-time player in the game last week, scoring 2 touchdowns, 104 yards to go along with it. And, you know, both these different running backs, Tucker and Reeves, they'll get it a lot, as well as Ashworth running it himself.
They'll take put Tucker in the ball game, put Reeves out, and they'll put Tucker out in the slot position to the left. They're going 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, out of the shotgun formation. Here Ashworth is calling the signals. He takes the snap, and he's going to call his own number up the middle. Has a little room out past the 25, going to get knocked down at about the 27-yard line as they spread him out, and then the quarterback keeps the ball himself, and he's going to get knocked down short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 4th and 2, and Galax is going to punt the football away.
Yeah, they had their punter on the field, and you got to watch it here. I know it's deep in their own territory, but that 4th, and it's short here. It's only 2 yards to the first down marker here. You know, you see what they might have lined up with one of their up men. Important for Riverheads to watch it here, but if I was the coach, I would punt it away.
Mason Cox going to drop back and do the punting for Galax. He takes the snap. Here's a nice high in spiraling kick. Going to bounce at the 26. Take a huge Galax bounce all the way inside the 15 to the 10. And that's where they'll down it at the 10-yard line. And that is a huge, the 5-yard line. They downed it at the 5-yard line. That is a gigantic turn of the field position there for Galax.
Yeah, I mean, they started that drive at their own 20. Don't get a first down. It's a 3 and out. But then to punt it and you have Riverheads all the way inside their own 5-yard line, absolutely flipping the field, the field position that started with a good kickoff return from Riverheads. Now Galax in full favor here in the field position game.
He was standing at his own 20-yard line. Here Bennett Dunlap's going to give the ball to Luke Bryant, sweeping the left side. Bryant's going to get out past the 10 and get knocked down at about the 11-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of about 6 yards by Luke Bryant on the sweep to the left side.
And Luke Bryant is, one of the running backs that Galax hasn't seen run in person before. And when you look at his build, you think, okay, he's that physical back, which he is, but he has surprisingly deceptive speed right there. And not able to show it right there, but at some point in this football game, he's going to get in the open field. We've seen it all season from Luke Bryant.
Dunlap up under center. Here they'll pitch it again, sweep it to the left side. And it's going to be out to the outside, and it's going to be Bryant again. And he's going to have enough for the first down, I think.
Yeah, great run there. Got to the outside, which he's very good at, even with his size. But then turns upfield, directs traffic a little bit, jumps on top of a guy. He gets the first down. Great carry by Luke Bryant. 2 really good carries. His first 2 of the football
Yeah,
game.
he tried to kick that one inside, Joe, and then he saw a little room outside and was able to kick it to the outside.
Yeah, Luke Bryant's doing a good job here on this drive. Just 2 carries, but he does have a first down, and it looks like we might be seeing a heavy dose of him here.
Here they're going to sweep it to Bryant again on the left side. He has some room out past the 20. Gets hit still on his feet. He's carrying some Galax defenders, and he's going to get all the way out to the 27-yard line. What a nice run of about 10 yards. They're going to give him the first down. 10-yard pickup by Bryant there.
Another great run. And you know, last year we heard Shane Allen, he coached that game to stop Zach Smiley and see what Cook Cash could do. Maybe this year they're trying to stop Caden Cook Cash, and they'll see what Luke Bryant do right now, making him, hey, that's 700 yards in the season, and big 3 carries right there out of Luke Bryant.
Here they'll give it to Cash, sweeping the right side. He cuts it up in, still on his feet out past the 35. It's going to get knocked down at about the 39-yard line. Going to be a pickup of about 12 yards on the sweep by Caden Cook Cash, and that will move the chains again.
And that's that back-breaking, first down carry from Caden Cook Cash. You saw him get a helmet on him about 5 yards into that carry. He blows through that, fights off more traffic, and gets enough for the first.
Here Dunlap is going to bring out the offensive unit out of the huddle. 5:56 to go here in the first quarter, no score. They're going to hand it off to Burton up the middle, and Cole Burton's going to get hit and dropped for right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Good job there by number 70, Kobe Adams for Galax. Also number 50 on the play as well, Isaac Bartlett, but it'll be no gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
And Cole Burton, he's the fullback here for Riverheads. He's a senior. He is the fullback 2 seasons ago, when he was a sophomore, ran off that 60-yard touchdown. It was the winning score of that football game against Galax. He's going to be an important piece for Riverheads today.
Yeah, they're going to sweep it to the left side again. It's going to be Luke Bryant. Bryant's still on his feet, get out past the 40 to about the 43-yard line. And it'll be a pickup of about 4 yards by Bryant. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Gladiators. The ball resting at their own 43-yard line. What do you think they have here, Leland, in the game plan or in the call?
I think Coach Casto stays on the ground here. I think that's just his bread and butter. I think when you're unsure of anything, he's going to run the football. I think they do that here.
Here they will run the football to Bryant. This time he sweeps it right up the middle. We do have a flag on the play out past the 45. It's going to be Cook Cash on the play. It'll be Caden Cook Cash. And we do have a flag on the play. And let's see what the call will be. Also, a Riverheads player is down on the field as well.
It's been a physical game. We've seen both players from both sides kind of reacting to the physicalness so far on the football field. And this is Randy Cash here.
They got the call on Galax there.
After the play, kind of trying to walk to the sideline and kind of dropping down to his knees. I don't know if he has his air knocked out or took some impact in his midsection, but that's what we're looking at as he's getting up to his feet. Oh, he's hobbling.
His leg.
He's hobbling on his leg.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell before he went down, but now he's hobbling a bit more. But he's an extremely important player for Riverheads. He's made 2 great special teams plays against Buffalo Gap a couple of weeks ago, where he was involved in the blocked punt. He also recovered a pooch kick on a kickoff.
That was a personal foul chop block on Galax.
You wonder if that was against him.
That moves it all the way inside the 40-yard line of Galax. Here they'll give it to Aiden Miller, sweeping the right side. He cuts it up in. He's going to pick up maybe a couple yards, if that. It'll be 2nd and long. They're going to give him only a yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd and 9.
And there's Randy Cash coming back in the football game. He was pretty hurt there a minute ago, but that's the toughness, and we'll see it from both sides tonight. Both these teams very tough, but Randy Cash coming right back in the football game after getting a little drink of water.
4:03 to go here in the first quarter. Chip Crable, Joe Deck, Leland McCray here live with you for the state title game here, high school football class 1 here in Salem. They're going to give it to Caden Cook Cash, sweeping the right side. He has some room. He's inside the 40, the 35, still on his feet. The 25, the 20, makes a move. 10, 5, touchdown. Caden Cook Cash And what a stiff arm he gave there on the far side. A guy came over,
Ian
trying to tackle,
Ashworth came over.
and he literally just stiff armed him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, that is the Caden Cook Cash kind of run right there. He showed all three abilities. He showed his ability to get to the outside. Once he got out there, he drove through contact with a just defiant stiff arm, and then he speeds to the end zone. He still had some blockers to help him, but that showed the full repertoire of what Caden Cook Cash brings to a football game, running the football.
Here's the point after by Cooper Robeson. Up and good. 3:42 to go here in the first quarter. Riverheads has a 7-0 lead over Galax. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to high school football, brought to you by Dave Brooks Electric here on ESPN 1240 The Boss.
Dave Brooks Electric. No job too small or too big. For more than 25 years, Dave Brooks Electric has served the electrical needs of residents, commercial, and industrial clients in and around Augusta County. And you can count on quality work at competitive rates. Wiring for new construction and remodels, service upgrades, bucket truck services, and more. When you need a qualified electrician, Dave Brooks Electric responds quickly. Their team of professionals are waiting to earn your business. For additional information, browse the website at davebrookselectric.com or give them a call today at 540-280-4483.
Stop by the Little Debbie Bakery store in Stewart's Draft and take advantage of the low money-saving prices. Enjoy everything from oatmeal cream pies to honey buns, from granola bars to donuts, and so much more. New store hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 till 4, and Fridays, 8 till 3. Closed on Saturdays and Sundays. The Little Debbie Bakery Store, 2929 Stewart's Draft Highway, next to the Stewart's Draft Family Pharmacy.
Here's going to be the kickoff by Robeson, taken at the 25-yard line. He'll get out to the 30, still on his feet to the 35, and that's going to be number 7, Javante Reeves, on the return, and they'll get it all the way out to the 38-yard line, and that's where Galax will take over. And Joe, tell us about that impressive scoring drive by the Gladiators.
Well, it's 10 plays, 95 yards, and it ended in the end zone for the Gladiators. They got the ball with 7:40 left. They scored with about 3:34 left. So that's kind of the big difference, and that's why I said before this game, Galax needs to take advantage when Riverheads doesn't score. They didn't. They thought they had him pinned at the 5, and Riverheads just goes 95 yards down the field.
Here, Galax is going to start at their own 41. They hand the ball off to Tadron Tucker up the middle, and Tucker's going to get close to the 45-yard line, maybe a 3-yard pickup, but Leland, the run there by Caden Cook Cash, the shiftiness. I mean, he showed us, just like you mentioned, he showed it all to us right there.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about like a 5-tool baseball player. I mean, he's the 5-tool running back right there. He blocks well. He can run through contact. He can run away from people. He can, slide off people. He can spin move. I mean, he can do it all, and he showed just about the whole playbook right there.
Here, Ashworth's going to call his own number, sweeping to the right side. He's going to get out to midfield, and then he'll be brought down there. But Ian Ashworth, I think he has enough for the first down. They will move the chains there on the sweep to the right side.
Anyway, you watch a lot of football broadcasts on, Sundays, particularly you see the stars of the game and who you want to watch. And we've talked about Ian Ashworth. We've talked about Caden Cook Cash. And on that Caden Cook Cash touchdown run, we saw them head-to-head, and we saw Ian Ashworth get stiffed arm and unable to tackle Caden Cook Cash. Here, they're giving him the football immediately again, able to have an opportunity to run the football. And that was a good first down carry for Ian Ashworth to kind of get his head back up, get his mind back right after what I'm sure was not what he wanted on the defensive side of the football.
Now we have an official timeout on the field. I don't know quite what is going on. The officials are talking with both coaching staffs here, and they're over there talking with the Galax coaching staff. What do you think the conversation's about here, Joe?
The only thing I can think of is maybe just trying to get control of the game, but right now it seems to be clean.
It's
just
with the
hard to
chains.
hit.
Something's wrong with the chains over there. It's not a full 10 yards marked off right now. I think that's what they're working on. I think
they're
talking to the Galax coaching staff. It looks like they're talking to the Galax coaching staff, but I think they're working with the crew.
Could be.
Yeah, something's wrong with the chains.
So it looks like we have a little trouble with the chain gang there on the far side. Galax has the football. They want to go 9 yards. They don't want to go 10.
Yeah, and obviously this is an equipment failure with, no one related to Galax. It just happens to be on their sideline. But they'll get things straightened out over there. But, this is an opportunity for Galax to kind of catch their breath. They gave up the touchdown after a long 95-yard drive, which is really impressive for Riverhead. You got a first down here. Now let's, build your confidence. You're in Riverhead's territory. Keep their heads turned on straight. I think it's important for Galax to be, not to hold their water a little bit here. Make sure that they're patient here and don't just go, okay, we're in Riverhead's territory. We've had something good. Let's throw it to the end zone. Do what you do. Do what you've done all season, and that's a lot of the quarterback running like he did there. That's a lot of Reeves running for you. So I want to see more of the same from Galax, what we've seen on film all year that has proven to work.
2:48 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Riverhead's leading. They're out of the shotgun formation. Ashworth takes the snap, going to call his own number, and he'll be hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage, as it's going to be
Noah Smiley,
number 26, Noah Smiley, getting in there and making a big play, dropping the quarterback for a loss of a yard there.
And that's what Noah Smiley does on the defensive end possession. He just gets in the backfield, causes havoc, and if he can get close to a ball carrier, he's bringing them down. And he does that this time with Ian Ashworth, bringing them down for a yard loss, and Galax right back to the 50.
So bring up 2nd and 11 for the Maroon Tide. He's going to send 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, out of the shotgun formation. Ashworth calling the signals. He takes the snap. He's going to drop straight back. Looks like he's lined up. Now he's getting flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be hit for a huge loss. They're going to drop him for about a 10-yard, maybe more than that, back in the backfield. He kept dropping back. I was wondering, it looked like they were sending him up for a screen, Joe, but then he just didn't throw the football.
Yeah, he didn't throw the football, and Hartless got back there, kept chasing him, didn't lose pursuit, brought him down at the 40. That's a huge loss.
Yeah.
I know they have the wind, but it's raining cats and dogs out there right now. The clock's running on them. They're already down 7. Remember what I said, you kind of needed to not be thinking about the intimidation factor. Well, if they are, this is where it starts to unravel.
It's 3rd and 20. They will throw a screen here to the near side. Oh, and he's hit and dropped on after he makes the catch on a great tackle. Looked like Aiden Miller over there.
Caden Cook-Cash.
Oh, Caden Cook-Cash on the tackle, but about a 6-yard gain on the bubble screen there to the far side. And just they're going to call it a 5-yard gain. So bring up 4th and 15. They did a little quick bubble screen over there, which probably was a good call.
Yeah,
but it looked like he had a little room, but Cash closed it quickly.
Yeah, and then just a huge hit. It was a punishing 5-yard gain for Galax there and Caden Cook-Cash. We talk about him so much on offense because you add up those stats, but defensively, such an impact on the football game and shows the ability he brings right there with that big hit.
Your Cash is going to call a fair catch, and he'll make the catch at the 14, and that's where Riverheads will take over. I will tell you this, Galax's punter's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a good punter.
He does a good job.
You just don't want to use him too many more times.
Yeah, that's right.
But I still go back to that big quarterback sack. I mean, that's where you had Noah Smiley going after him. You had Cole Burton after him. But there's that undersized defensive tackle in Isaac Hartless staying with it, getting back there, and that's that speed. When you have that bigger defensive tackle, he's not involved in that play. Here is Isaac Hartless bringing down the quarterback and really setting up that punt.
32 seconds. They're going to give it on a little crisscross. It'll be Bryant, and Bryant's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage on a little trap play off the left side, and not much happening there for Bryant. He'll bring up 2nd and long. We're at 18 seconds here remaining in the first quarter. First quarter winding down. Riverheads leading 7-0 here at Salem City Stadium here in Salem for the state championship Class 1 football game. 7-0, Riverheads leading Galax, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter, and we're going to send it to break. 7-0, Riverheads leading over Galax. You're listening to the state championship Class 1 football game brought to you by Dave Brooks Electric here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Have you spent the past months and even years talking about that cool draft coming in around your doors? Are you tired of watching dollars fly out the window and take your heat with it? Virginia Frame Builders and Supply on Expo Road in Fishersville has the knowledgeable staff and products to fix these issues and many more. Whether you're looking at a new front entry door or replacement windows, Virginia Frame has exactly what you need. Call in or stop by today and let their sales staff help make your dreams a reality. Virginia Frame Builders and Supply. Quality buildings and supplies since 1975.
UPS is now hiring seasonal driver helpers, package handlers, and personal vehicle drivers for the Fishersville location. Positions available immediately. UPS needs your help to deliver for the holidays. Apply online at upsjobs.com.
Live from the ESPN and Right Way Hyundai Studios, this is WTON AM, Stanton, Waynesboro, and Harrisonburg.
All right, we're beginning the second quarter here in Salem as Chip Crable, Joe Deck, and Leland McCray are here live with you. 7-0 the score. Riverheads leading here to start the second quarter. Riverheads has the football at their own 14-yard line. Here's the 2nd and 10. It'll be a sweep by the Gladiators to the right side, and it'll be Cash on the carry. And Cash is going to pick up about 5 yards on the carry there. Still going to be short of the first down yardage. Going to bring up 3rd and about 6 to go for the Gladiators, and the ball at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, and I thought he had a little more space than that. So that play, Galax did a good job holding that up from, getting downfield much further. It seemed like a wide hole for him to go to. He kind of cut back just a touch there, and I think that gave him his best opportunity for the yards that he was able to get, but still right there between the hash marks for Caden Cook-Cash for a little bit of gain.
Dunlap up under center here. They're going to hand the ball, or they're going to roll Dunlap out. He hits Burton in the flats. Burton has some room. Out past the 35. One man to beat. He's to the 40, and he'll get knocked down right at the 50. Going to be a big pickup there as it's a 31-yard pickup on the pass play as they waggled Dunlap out, and he was able to get Burton, the fullback, in the flats, and then Burton made a lot happen there on the far sideline.
He had a blocker out front that was going to help him, but good job by Galax defender Austin Ashworth, number 53, coming from behind and using some surprising speed for his size and stopping that play. He did only have one player to beat out in front of him, but Ashworth did a good job coming from behind there and tracking him down right as he was getting ready to take off.
The ball right at midfield here. They'll sweep the ball to the right side. Is this going to be Bryant? Bryant cuts it inside the 40, and he'll get hit and dropped at the 38-yard line. But a nice pickup there of 12 yards by Luke Bryant on the sweep to the right side.
He does a great job in the open field to just get every little bit that he can, and right there just choosing the right angle to get out here and get beyond the 40-yard line before he gets taken down. He just does a good job at reacting as a running back. He sees the field well and puts his body in the right position to maximize gain.
Riverheads with another set of new downs here. They're driving the football at the Galax 38-yard line, already leading 7-0 here in the first half. Bennett Dunlap up under center. He's going to hand it off to Burton up the middle off the left guard, and Burton will get hit and dropped after about a yard pickup as number 66, Brenda Rojas, was in on the tackle for Galax. Also number 57, and that's Riley Joe Vaught.
And right now, Galax, that's the one thing they're taking away. Burton is having a hard time. That's his 3rd carry. He's 5 yards. Hasn't really been able to create anything. It's been the outside running game that's worked for Riverheads more than anything so far.
And usually you see those outside runners getting maybe slowed down early in a football game, especially with a team that knows them the way Galax does. And you see Burton taking off. They've taken away fullback, and we've seen Riverheads find some opportunity on the outside edges.
2nd and 8 for Riverheads. Here they're going to throw the quick slant over the middle. It's Landon Leitner. He has the catch. He's inside the 25. It's going to get knocked down at the 23, and that's going to be a 13-yard quick slant pickup as Dunlap went over the middle to Landon Leitner on the slant, and Leitner made some good moves after the catch.
And that's a play that Coach Robert Casto really wouldn't call in the first, 20 years of his coaching. He did not use his passing game that way, where on first down he would throw just a quick slant like that, and that could really put the defense on their heels. And his ability to have confidence in his quarterback and receiver to make sure that's a completion, make sure the other team's not taking that the other way, is so important to this offensive play calling.
Here, Bennett Dunlap, the quarterback's going to call his own number up the middle. He's inside the 20. It's now a rugby scrum, and they're going to call the whistle or call the play down.
Wow.
And they're going to mark it right at the 20, but it looked to me like the rugby scrum was still moving forward.
It was still moving forward. Usually you blow that rugby scrum dead once it's really stopped, but that thing was definitely still moving forward, and Riverhead's only marked with 3 yards gain there on the Bennett sneak forward. So I think a little bit left on the table there, but still a good play by this Riverheads offense.
I will say, in the officials' defense, I think Dunlap was actually lifted off the ground at that point. So I think that might have been a let's blow it dead for safety.
Here, Dunlap up under center. He'll give the ball to Caden Cook-Cash, sweeping the right side, and Cash is going to get close to the 11-yard line. It looked like there was a late hit in there. No flags were thrown as Galax ball player came and made a late hit on a Riverheads player, but no flags were thrown, and it's going to be a pickup of about 4, going to bring up 3rd and a long 3 for Riverheads at the Galax 11-yard or 16-yard line.
Yeah, no flags thrown, but definitely the official immediately talking to that player that was involved in that contact from the Galax side right after that play. So I'm figuring he's telling them, hey, anything more like that, we will throw the flag the next time. And I'm okay with that early in a ball game.
Here they're going to sweep the ball to the right side again. It's going to be Cook Cass. Cass is going to be close to the 10-yard line, a 5-yard pickup. They'll mark it at the 11, and it's a new set of downs for the Gladiators. So 1st and 10 on the sweep to the right side by Caden Cook Cash, and that's going to give them a new set of downs. 1st and 10 at the Galax 11.
Yeah, and this is just the machine at work, just moving forward, these carries that are getting them 4 yards or more, a little bit more. And that includes the fullback not picking up big yardage right now, but it's that mixture of offensive play and call that's part of this machine, and it's working right now for the Gladiators.
Dunlap's going to give the ball to Burton off the right side. Burton going to get inside the 5-yard line. Going to be knocked down at the 4, and a good run there by Cole Burton. I think he didn't recognize how open he would be there. He sort of thought maybe he'd get hit right at the line, but it just opened up, and he was able to get 6 positive yards there.
Yeah, he's used to getting hit right at the line of scrimmage today, and right there, he had 2 hands to the ball, kind of going through where he thought contact would be, and he was still moving, and good job to pick up 7, 8 yards right there on first down.
7.
Yeah, great carry from the fullback who's had a quiet day so far, unusually.
They can still get a first down if they get to the 2. Here they're going to give it to Bryant, sweeping the left side. He cuts it up in right behind the guard, and he's going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards. Going to be close to the marker. I think he's going to be a little short of the first down marker, though, so we'll bring up 3rd and short.
You think about Bennett Dunlap just keeping the football here, driving ahead. We've seen him make that call twice in this game so far. Once called dead for penalty. The other time, Bennett Dunlap did a good job. That was that rugby play that got blown short here. We'll see what they call. Any running back option, a good option for the Riverheads Gladiators, but I'd watch Bennett here.
Here, Leitner sprint out to the right. They'll go ahead and do a pitch to the right side, and it's Cook Cash going in for the touchdown. Caden Cook Cash scoring his 2nd TD here in this state championship football game, and a sophomore already giving himself an opportunity to get named player of the game with his 2nd TD.
And Triple C just making it happen, and that's what he's done ever since he stepped on the football field as a varsity football player last year in the spring as a freshman. Scored all kinds of touchdowns throughout the season. I think he already has 47 career touchdowns for Riverheads, and where the the record is in the 90s, and he's halfway through his high school career, and he's about halfway there in the record book. So it's going to be an interesting thing to watch him develop these next 2 years. He has a Saturday body, does Caden Cook Cash.
Here, the point after's up and good. 6:07 to go until halftime. 14-0, Riverheads leading. We're going to send it out to break. You're listening to State Championship Saturday, Class 1A football here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Henry Funeral Home in Stanton is a proud supporter of Augusta County High School football on ESPN 1240, The Boss. We take this time to thank all families who support our student athletes. Football brings our friends and our families together and teaches us that athletics is good for the mind, the body, and the soul. Good luck on a great season from Henry Funeral Home. Online at henryfuneralhome.net.
In today's real estate market, many buyers are buying as is for informational purposes only or skipping the home inspection altogether. Do not skip the home inspection. Call Aztec Home Inspections. With Aztec, even as is gets you protected when Aztec Home Inspections conducts your inspection. Call 540-830-0259 or go online at aztechomeInsp.com and schedule now.
Here, the kickoff's going to be a touchback in the end zone for Riverheads as a nice kickoff goes through the end zone. 14-0, Joe, 6:07. Tell us about that impressive drive.
It was a 12-play drive, went 86 yards in 6 minutes, 25 seconds. It was the 3-yard run for Caden Cook Cash, his 2nd of the day.
So the 2 scoring drives of 95 yards and 86 yards. That's just, that's Riverheads football right there.
Right now, if Galax is going to have an opportunity, even an opportunity in this football game, Galax has got to make a score right here. If they do not, and Riverheads comes down, they're going to definitely have to put some kind of points on the board. And their first play will not do it. Going to get hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage as they tried to go with Tucker up the middle, and he gets hit and dropped, and it's going to be 2nd and long. And right now, Riverheads can blow this game open, Joe.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, right? And I know we kept saying if Riverheads wins, well, you guys were saying if Riverheads wins. You were doing the
I've been
the
coached
respectful
to do
thing.
this. I
This
played
is
for
why
Coach
I did
Casto.
it. But this is why I didn't. I saw this happening. Like Galax just isn't. If Galax doesn't score on this drive, it's over.
Here they're going to go strong right, and they're going to roll Ashworth out to the left. Here he throws the ball up in the air, and it's caught at the 40. Still on his feet out to the 45. And let's see who made the catch there. Number 28. It'll be Sam Olinger, and Olinger is going to get the ball all the way out to the 45-yard line of Galax, and that's a 25-yard pass play from Ashworth to Olinger.
And what a play there, right there. The quarterback doing a good job getting out of the pocket, throwing it downfield, finding his receiver, and he's open, and he catches the football. Riverheads does close on him well there, but Sam Olinger only catching his 7th pass of the season. He just went over the 100-yard mark on the season. So, not a often used receiver, but coming up big when it matters.
Ashworth's going to hand the ball off to number 7. Reeves sweep from the right side. He makes a move. He's out past the 50, close to the 45-yard line of Riverheads, and that's going to be maybe a 10-yard pickup and might move the chains there. I think it will. I think he picked up enough for the first down, and that will move the chains. That's a new set of downs for Galax.
Galax doing a great job responding. I mean, the pressure was on them here. They needed an answer, and already, at least with field position, they've already, flipped the field right here. They're into Riverhead's territory, and they're doing exactly what they want to do right here to try to stay in this ball game.
And they had 13 total yards before these last two plays. It was a 25-yard play, and that one was over 10 yards too.
4:47 to go here until halftime. They'll give it to Reeves again up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. Huge play by Caden Cook Cash. Also Aiden Miller in there as well, as they're going to stuff him maybe for a half-yard pickup. The clock is moving, 4:32. The ball is resting at the Riverheads 44-yard line.
Yeah.
Leading 14-0 is the Gladiators.
And Galax right there at, 2 first downs in 2 consecutive plays. They only had 1 previous first down. So this is definitely their best offensive effort so far of this football game.
Here they got a receiver to the left, one to the right. Shotgun formation with the lone receiver, the lone sit back to his left. Ashworth calling the signals. Here he's going to roll out to his left. He's looking downfield. Here's the pass. Oh, it's going to go incomplete, as it was intended for number 40, Josias White. And it goes through White's hands here on the near side. He was just coming across the field. And I'm sort of impressed a little bit by the way Ian Ashworth can throw against he's moving out to his right. He's coming back against the grain and throwing with his right. And he's throwing pretty much right on the line.
Yeah, that was a good pass there. Hit the receivers in the hands. You might think of maybe the wetness from the rain causing that incompletion or something. But, yeah, Ian Ashworth, a different kind of quarterback than Cole Pickett was. He is a lot more mobile, dependent, I'll say. I'm not saying Cole Pickett couldn't run the ball, but he is very mobile back there, getting outside of the pocket, making good throws on the run.
Here they're going to drop him back again. He's being blitzed. Now he's being flushed out of the pocket. He throws the ball, and it's complete over the middle inside the 30-yard line. Let's get a number on that one, and it's going to be number 3 on the catch, Mason Cox, and he's going to be getting dropped at the 29 of Riverheads. But a great play there by Ian Ashworth, the quarterback. Joe, he got flushed out of the pocket, had to step up, and continued looking downfield and made a nice play there.
And he was very excited with that play there, too, because he had the receiver open. He completes it. When the receiver goes down, I'm seeing a Galax player running up to where the ball is. That's the quarterback. He's already there when the player gets tackled.
Here they're going to give the ball to Reeves, sweeping the right side. Reeves trying to get the edge, and he's going to get hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Tremendous job there on the far side. And I can't get a number who made the tackle, but whoever it was set the edge there and did not allow Reeves to get around the edge.
As Luke Bryan over there on the defensive end, I think that he was involved
Might
in that.
have been Bryan.
But I'll go back to this credit for Ian Ashworth. He's doing a great job on the run, getting out of the pocket. He's kind of running for his life back there, but he's staying alive long enough to find an open receiver downfield. Riverheads is bringing the pressure like always, and he's doing a good job at avoiding it best he can.
Here Ashworth's going to drop back. Now he's being blitzed. He's going to get hit and dropped in the backfield. Huge loss there as Riverheads brought the blitz, and they bring him down quickly, and Ashworth had nowhere to go. and a tremendous job there by the Gladiator defense.
And a lot of the guys involved there was off the defensive line. They brought the blitz, but it seemed like the linemen picked up the blitzing guys and allowed the defensive line to get back there. And it was 3 of the 4 of Riverhead's front back on the quarterback there, bringing him down, particularly Isaac Hartless there, finishing it off, making a great sack on the quarterback. And that's where, that approach running for your life, that's what can happen when you don't avoid the contact. You get that big loss, and now sets up 3rd and long.
6-yard loss there on the sack. 2 receivers to the right. Now they're going to give the ball to Ashworth, running up the middle, and he's not going to go anywhere. Ashworth might pick up maybe about 3 or 4 as the quarterback called his own number right up the middle, and they're going to give him about 2. They'll mark it back, and the clock is still moving. They've got 4th and about 14, or let's call it 4th and about 13, and it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, they might be calling a timeout before they run this play, as they're taking a long time to get this play in, using up a lot of clock. And I guess maybe that's just so if they do give it back to Riverhead, they don't have as much time. But they need that play call was setting up going for it on 4th down. They didn't get as much as they wanted.
Here he's going to drop back. He's going to throw it here to the near side. It's complete at the 30, and he'll get knocked down at about the 36. He's going to be way short of a 1st down. They did a little bubble screen there, the far sideline to Tudor Tucker, and Tucker was nowhere near the 1st down marker. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they threw it behind the chains there, and they were hoping for their receiver to make a play out there in the flats, and there's 3 Riverheads defenders there to stop it out on that far side, and they come up and just a good, solid tackle there, and didn't even give up much extra yards, and they take them down, and they'll take over on downs here with 1:27 on the clock before the half.
If there's anything positive that Galax did there, Joe, was they were able to run some clock.
Yeah, they did take about almost 5 minutes off the clock there.
Here, Riverhead's going to take over at their own 25. They're going to sweep it to the right side. It's Caden Cook Cash, and Cash is going to get out past the 30 to about the 31-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of about 6 yards. Let's make it a 5-yard pickup on the sweep to the right side.
And I think
it's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Coach Casto might be fine with this 14-0 lead here at halftime. He's not in a rush getting this play call in, but this play probably will decide how the next couple will go. If they're able to get a 1st here, maybe a little bit big game here, then they might try to go downfield. Otherwise, I think they'll pack it in.
Dunlap's going to give it to Bryant, sweeping the left side. Bryant has some room. Out past the 35, gets hit. Going to be close to the 39-yard line. And the clock is stopped with 45 seconds to move the chains.
Riverheads does have all 3 timeouts if they do choose to try to attack the whole field here. 1st down now, but still in their own territory, and the clock's getting back to running here.
Going to mark it at the Riverheads 38-yard line. 35 seconds to go till halftime. Dunlap up under center. He puts a man in motion. He'll give it to Cook Cash, sweeping the right side. He cuts it out past the 40, out past the 45, and they'll knock him down there. Going to be a pickup of about 7 yards. And
Casto's
Riverheads wanted a late hit on the player there, as Cash did get hit a little bit late after the whistle.
There's a beat past the whistle there, and they don't call it. And it's not been dirty so far. It's okay. It's in the okay range.
They're going to put a man in motion, and they'll give it sweeping to the right side. It's Cash. Cash is going to get hit and knocked out of bounds at the 40, and that's going to end the first half of play. So Kate Cook Cash gets it to the 40, and the Gladiators are going to go in to halftime here in this state championship Class 1 football game with a 14-0 lead. Stay tuned to the Stanton Augusta YMCA halftime report. Joe Deck will have it for you. Coming up, it's 14-0 here at halftime. You're listening to high school football, brought to you by Dave Brooks Electric here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
At the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA, we love to hear the sound of basketballs bouncing on the hardwood. After all, basketball was invented at the YMCA, and since the time Dr. James Naismith first put a ball into a peach basket, we've never stopped innovating. The YMCA is a great place to pursue your health and fitness journey, but it's also a great place to find community and make an impact. Join the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA today as we serve our community through healthy living, youth development, and social responsibility. We'd love for you to be part of our YMCA family.
Goose Creek Market, your hometown deli filled with homemade salads, desserts, and made-to-order subs and sandwiches, each sandwich filled with boar's head meats and cheeses, country-sized portions. Goose Creek Market opens at 5 each weekday and 6 on Saturday. Breakfast biscuits and fresh coffee from America's favorite brands await you. Goose Creek Market makes their salads and desserts in Don's Kitchen. This is a restaurant that sells gasoline, not a gas station that sells food. There are 3 Augusta County locations. Fishersville beside the Hampton Inn off I-64, exit 91, in Stanton off I-81, exit 220 beside Applebee's, and in Stewart's Draft on Stewart's Draft Highway in front of the middle and high schools. Goose Creek Market is locally owned. The profits stay here in our community. Goose Creek Market's mission is to dedicate each day to serve their community with excellence in every way possible. To take pride in the quality and freshness of all their food, treat everyone with kindness and respect, and to help people with any special needs to have a pleasant experience in their stores.
The used car market has been turned upside down. So don't take the first offer or a lowball trade value. Get an offer in minutes for your used car or truck at MasterTech Automotive. MasterTech Automotive will pay you cash on the spot. That's right, cash in your pocket. MasterTech Automotive will buy your vehicle from you. So stop in today. MasterTech Automotive has a great selection of used cars and trucks too. Come in to browse. They also offer auto repair estimates and are constantly saving people money by getting a second opinion for their repairs and maintenance. Get your estimate at MasterTech Automotive, where you're not just a customer, you're a friend. 303 Lee Jackson Highway in Stanton.
Honey, we need more buckets.
What we need is to call Sanger Roofing to come put a new roof on this house. I'm tired of raindrops falling on my head. And they offer Atlas Pristine Shingles with 3M Scotchgard lifetime protection against algae stains and streaks.
Okay, you convinced me. Go ahead, give them a call.
What's the number?
801-0303.
Or SengerRoofing.com online.
Trust Sanger Roofing. They supply materials and labor for a worry-free job.
Dave Brooks Electric. No job too small or too big. For more than 25 years, Dave Brooks Electric has served the electrical needs of residents, commercial, and industrial clients in and around Augusta County. And you can count on quality work at competitive rates. Wiring for new construction and remodels, service upgrades, bucket truck services, and more. When you need a qualified electrician, Dave Brooks Electric responds quickly. Their team of professionals are waiting to earn your business. For additional information, browse the website at davebrookselectric.com or give them a call today at 540-280-4483.
Want a good laugh? Watch those funny insurance ads on TV. Want seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance? Come to Warner Insurance in Stanton, an independent Erie insurance agent. See for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with Erie year after year. Call Warner Insurance today, 540-885-1950, or visit warnerinsurance.net. Warner Insurance, since 1975.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Stanton Augusta YMCA halftime show here on ESPN 1240 The Boss on State Championship Saturday. It's 14-0 Riverheads ahead of Galax at the half. And here are some of the stats in the ball game right now for Riverheads as we take a look first, actually, at the scoring recap. And as we do that, again, it's 14-0. It was Caden Cook-Cash with 7:40 to go in the first quarter from 38 yards out. That capped off a 95-yard drive for the Gladiators that put them up 7-0. And then in the second quarter with 6:07 left, it was Caden Cook-Cash from 3 yards out. That capped off an 86-yard drive to make it 14-0 Gladiators. And for Galax, it's just been a rough day offensively. They have had 18 plays, 67 total yards. You contrast that with the Gladiators' 30 plays for 204, and you can kind of see why Galax isn't leading in this ballgame. But, Leland, I guess the point I want to make is because they're not allowing the big play from Riverheads, it's kept them in the game. They're still only down 14. But, as I said kind of off air, getting ready to come back on, it's a fairly lopsided 14-point game. They have under 100 yards of total offense. In fact, if it wasn't for two big plays on the last drive, they wouldn't even have 50 yards of total offense. So it's a game where in the second half, Galax, who gets the ball first, is going to have to be able to put up points on that drive and kind of drive down the field. The last drive, they moved it down the field. They failed on a fourth down conversion, but it just they're not able to get it going on the ground. They had some moderate success there in the passing game, but it's just a situation where you worry that if they don't get points, they're out of the game.
Yeah, and then they get the ball first in the second half, so that's an advantage to that thought logic there. I will say that passing game that has worked for them has been those kind of plays that, they easily could break off to touchdowns. If they're able to get, the quarterback, he's able to make that much time for himself in the second half, they could break off a long touchdown at some point. But to this point, they haven't. I agreed with your point pregame. You said Galax is going to want some long drives, keep Riverheads off the field, and they have. That's what's kept Riverheads, especially that long drive there, is not only did they have a long drive, but they forced Riverheads to go 80-plus yards in their two scoring drives, too, and it was methodical drives by them. So Riverheads has 4 possessions in the first half, Galax only 3. So they've limited the opportunities for either team to score, and they've kept it within, shooting distance here at 14-0 at halftime, but they're going to have some shots here in the second half. They're going to have to get some points on the scoreboard and also, find a way to stop Riverheads. They had that early punt. That was a good stop early, but since then, Riverheads has really moved the ball like they want to ever since, obviously with a 95-yard drive and then an 86-yard drive. Riverheads has really moved the football well. They were moving it well before the halftime right there as well. So, Galax has to have some things go different for them to make up this deficit. Riverheads, I don't know what needs to go different for them. If they just stay on the same track that they're on, they'll be okay.
Yeah, and again, I think, the only reason we're not talking about a 21-point lead for Riverheads is because the half ran out on them. I mean, they were driving the ball on that drive, and they just ran out of time.
I was a little surprised with 3 timeouts in his pocket at Coach Casto. We've seen him in that position before, really press the action there and want to get his team back on the scoreboard. But I think that's a little bit of respect to Galax there, knowing that, hey, if we do something weird here and we turn the ball over, we don't want to let Galax back in this game that we really feel like we've controlled, that we've really, we've dictated the action on this football field. Let's not give them an opportunity to get something cheap here at the end of the first half. So I think it kind of played to that, and I think he's confident in his offense in the second half. He's confident in his defense in the second half, and he said, 14-point, lead here. If I play him even the rest of the way, we come home with our 6th straight championship. We come home with our 9th. We win our game 50 in a row, even though that's not in his head. But that's the logic there, is that he feels happy with a 14-point padding in this football game.
And I think the other part there contributing to that is he knows they get the ball to start the second half too. So if they make a mistake there, turn it over at the end of the first half, Galax happens to score because of it.
And then they get the ball
back. They get the ball. They have a chance to tie it. So in a game that, like we've touched on, they've dominated. I mean, they really didn't score on their first drive.
What's the total yardage?
204 to 167.
Yeah, I mean, that's domination, and that most of that 67 really happened on that
the last
one drive.
Yeah, and it's 54 yards through the air there in that 67 yards. Ashworth is 4 of 5, 54 yards passing. On the ground, Reeves has 14 yards, Tucker has 4, but then Ashworth has lost 5 via sacks and other kind of plays there.
Lost 5 overall. He's lost a couple. I mean, how many different sacks has there been? And that's been big. Where Galax has been able to get good plays, good passing plays down the field, find his open receiver. I commend him. He's doing a great job at doing that. But the times that he wasn't successful at getting a pass off, he's been sacked for big yardage loss, 6+ yards each time. So he's doing a good job dealing with what he has. It's just he's going to have to, combine some of those successes to find a score on the scoreboard.
And the other thing here to take note when we look at the rushers for Riverheads, Caden Cook-Cash, 10 carries, 88 yards with 2 touchdowns in that first half. Luke Bryant, 9 carries, 54 yards in the first half. Burton has been the guy they've held down, 4 carries, 12 yards. They've done a good job plugging up the middle there, and 7 of those 12 yards came on one play.
Yeah, and Riverheads will trade that. I mean, they traded other games. They'll trade. There's been a couple games this year where Caden Cook-Cash has had 6 carries for 36 yards or something like that against Buffalo Gap one game. Another game where he's kind of held back, but then those are the games Burton had 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. They'll trade one running back to the other. They just want the team to succeed, and they've done that here offensively. Look at the defense side of it here. I want to talk about what's done here. Is now Riverheads playing their final game of the season, no matter what happens here today. Only in 2 games this season have they given up first half points. They played some good opponents this season, including Essex, Buffalo Gap, Stewart's Draft twice, Lord Botetourt. They only gave up those points in week 3 and 4 of the season in the first half. Ever since week 4 of the season, they have not given up first half points.
I thought Essex's touchdown came in the
first half. Was that the first half?
I thought it was. Yeah.
Oh, well then, excuse me. 3 teams. 3 out of the 14 games that they played have they only got. So I apologize for misremembering when that touchdown happened in the Essex game. But they limit what the opponent does in the first half, and they're always making the opponent, change to what can work. What can we do to overcome this deficit? And they're doing that right here. I know they were trailing shortly after that one football game, but I mean, just out of all these games, 14 games this season, they just completely control first half of football games.
Yeah, that's a great
excuse
point.
me on Essex. That's
okay.
Bad stat on me.
But we will take a break here on the Stanton Augusta YMCA halftime show. When we come back, Leland will have some scores from around the state in the other two games going on, and we will talk about what we expect to see here in the second half. Again, you're listening to State Championship Saturday here on ESPN 1240 The Boss. We'll be back with more after this.
At the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA, we love to hear the sound of basketballs bouncing on the hardwood. After all, basketball was invented at the YMCA, and since the time Dr. James Naismith first put a ball into a peach basket, we've never stopped innovating. The YMCA is a great place to pursue your health and fitness journey, but it's also a great place to find community and make an impact. Join the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA today as we serve our community through healthy living, youth development, and social responsibility. We'd love for you to be part of our YMCA family.
You deserve to get good service and great rates. At State Farm, we get it. And we're here to help because with every State Farm policy, you get good neighbor service and you get surprisingly great rates. So what are you waiting for? Get going and talk to a local State Farm agent about your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agents Tanya Savinsky and Beth Cundiff in Stanton today. Deerfield Grocery is not just a grocery store. They are so much more, starting with a hot deli bar, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, homemade biscuits, carry-out pizza, chicken wings, hamburgers, hot dogs, pork barbecue, just to name a few. Check out the selection of groceries, canned goods, cold beverages, beer, and wine. Plus, new to the store, hardware products for sale. Hardware, electrical, and plumbing products are now in stock. Come see the changes at Deerfield Grocery and grab you a bite to eat. Deerfield Grocery, 3070 Deerfield Valley Road in Deerfield, open 7 days a week from 6 to 8 p.m. and now hiring for part-time help at Deerfield Grocery.
Have you spent the past months and even years talking about that cool draft coming in around your doors? Are you tired of watching dollars fly out the window and take your heat with it? Virginia Frame Builders and Supply on Expo Road in Fishersville has the knowledgeable staff and products to fix these issues and many more. Whether you're looking at a new front entry door or replacement windows, Virginia Frame has exactly what you need. Call in or stop by today and let their sales staff help make your dreams a reality. Virginia Frame Builders and Supply. Quality buildings and supplies since 1975.
UPS is now hiring seasonal driver helpers, package handlers, and personal vehicle drivers for the Fishersville location. Positions available immediately. UPS needs your help to deliver for the holidays. Apply online at upsjobs.com.
You deserve to get good service and great rates. At State Farm, we get it. And we're here to help because with every State Farm policy, you get good neighbor service and you get surprisingly great rates. So what are you waiting for? Get going and talk to a local State Farm agent about your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agents Tanya Savinsky and Beth Cundiff in Stanton today. Looking for a really good plumbing service? Do you need your water heater serviced, faucets fixed? Do you have a clogged drain or just a slow runner? Well, Cox Construction in the Shenandoah Valley is your complete plumbing service. They work on well pumps, clogged drains, leaky faucets, and they use their hot water draining cleaning system to get it done correctly. They use their drain line jetting equipment to clean your pipes like new. Call Cox Construction today in the Shenandoah Valley if you're needing a good plumbing service company. Call them at 540-943-8723 and let Cox Construction treat you like family.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Stanton Augusta YMCA halftime show here on ESPN 1240 The Boss. Leland, I will toss it over to you for the scores from the other two state championship games going on today.
Class 3 happening over in Lynchburg. Liberty Christian playing on their home field, and they are trailing 14-7 at the half to the Phoebus Phantoms there. And so that was a scoreless second quarter there between two teams that like to score points. So it's a little bit surprising there that things have slowed down. And then also Class 5, Maury leading Stonebridge 14-7 also at the half. So I thought we had a quick moving game here, but it seems like everybody low scoring, 14 points or less in all the games, and everything's tight.
We also started late.
We started 10
that's
minutes
right.
late. That helped them. That helped them. But yeah, we're used to calling Riverheads games and getting home at 9:30 because Riverheads likes to run the football. They don't like to mess around. And during some of those regular season games, there's the running clock. But here, both teams running the football a good bit. Not a lot of incomplete passes, and both teams just kind of taking those long drives. Not a whole lot of kickoff returns and waiting for the timeout on the field. So it was a quick game here, and with the rain, I think the fans probably happy about that. I know Galax is going to want to make the most of the second half and what they can do here to kind of reverse what's been going on here, where they felt really controlled. They want more of what they saw on that long drive, and that included their quarterback rolling out of the pocket, finding open receivers. I think we'll see more of that here in the second half.
Here we have, just leading up to the second half starting here, we have Riverheads over here warming up. I mean, they've been doing stretches, warming up, taking advantage of their final 2 minutes. Galax has not moved. They have not even moved in the last 5 minutes. They have just stood still over there on that sideline. And, I mean, you would have to think there a little bit into that where, they're not even really trying to get ready here for this second half and get moving a little bit.
Yeah, that's surprising that they're not, doing a little more stretching or a little, small sprints on the side. But
some high knees or something.
Riverheads doing what they normally do. We see this every other week of the season. I've called every home game for them and a lot of the road games for them this season. This is exactly what they do every single game. And maybe this is what Galax normally does. I'm not going to read so much into that.
And I agree with that, too. I mean, it could be the way they go ahead and do it. Yeah. But, if looks could tell us a whole lot right now, we've got a Galax football team that's walking on the field.
And it's a quiet sideline over there because they feel the pressure that's been put on them today. I'm not saying the more pressure of anything else, but just the pressure that Riverheads has put on the football field today with really dominating the physicality of this football game. Galax has stood up to it in a lot of senses, but when push comes to shove, Riverheads has had the better day so far.
Here's my one thing though. I mean, and you're at 14-0 to start the second half. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, that's really not they've got to come out here and
it doesn't feel it. No.
They've got to come out here and do something here in this second half, but. They're not out in this football game.
They are not.
Stretch of this imagination.
They are not.
The way they're moving around, you would think they're down by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and, a good kickoff return. I mean, obviously a touchdown, but even just a positive, getting it back to midfield on a kickoff return really could spark Galax right here.
Here's going to be the kickoff by Cooper Ropes, and it does land. Nobody's on it yet. Now they dive on the football right at the 21-yard line, and that ball was live on the ground.
We've seen Riverheads recover the last 2 weeks. Riverheads recover.
That one was a little bit deeper than what we usually see. It did get all the way to the 20-yard line, but Galax had a live football there for a couple bounces, and they will take over at their own 20 here to start the second half. Chip Crable, Leland McCray, and Joe Deck here with you. 14-0, the Red Pride leading here in the second half of the state Class 1 high school football championship. Ian Ashworth's going to go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He takes the snap. He's going to do a quick pass here to the near side to Tucker. Tucker makes the catch, dives forward close to the 29-yard line, and that's going to be a pickup of about 9 yards. And Ian Ashworth just took the snap. Tucker ran about a 6 and turn, and he hit him right in the numbers with it.
Yeah, and that was a great play there, and it was a good gain on first down, and I think we're going to see more. I think we're going to see a lot quick passes, but also some of the quarterback rolling out of the pocket. I think they're going to go more to their passing game because they had success against Riverheads with that last spring in what was more of a shootout type of football game where Riverheads, was ahead of that shootout. But I think we'll see more of that here. But I think it's very imperative for Galax to have a lot of success right here.
Here they're going to turn and hand the ball, and he's going to get hit and dropped in the backfield, and it's Tucker that's going to take the ball, and he's going to have about a 5-yard loss there.
And that's the defensive ends. Luke Bryant finishes that tackle, but Noah Smiley in there as well. And just that's the edges of this Riverheads defensive line just coming down and stopping that play before it can start. And now what was second and short is now third and tough.
Huge play there for the Riverheads defense. Going to bring up 3rd and about 6 for Galax on a huge loss of yardage there by
this feels like a ball game kind of play right here for Galax. They got to do something positive here.
A receiver to each side here. They're going to hand it off again. It's going to be number 7 Reeves sweeping the left side. He cuts it up in, but he's going to come up way short. He might gain about 2 yards. They'll knock him down at about the 24-yard line of Galax. And now we have whistles stop and play, and it looks like a Riverheads ball player
I think that's
is
Burton.
down on the field.
I think that's Burton. That's a tough injury to see on the football field right there as he's kind of rolling over. I'm not sure if it's leg or midsection there. But Cole Burton, an absolute huge piece to the cog of this Riverheads offense, playing that fullback position. He hasn't been cut loose today. He has been limited on yardage, only 12 yards gained, but it does look like he is hopping up.
So Burton is on his own wheel walking off, which is very good to see.
Last time we saw a Riverheads player do this, he got a drink of water and came running back on the football field. We'll see what Cole Burton's able to do here, but he took a big hit out on the outside there. Last week, he was one of the best defensive players for Riverheads, making huge tackles in the open field.
Our answer to the win being to the back of Galax to end the ball game is a total no. They chose to go against the wind to end the ball game, which, I mean, that is that one right there is just a mind-boggler.
You want everything in your favor in those even quarters.
In the second half.
But to begin the game, they chose.
Yeah.
Here's the snap as number 3 Mason Cox gets a high kick and a fair catch by Caden Cook-Cash at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. And that's where Riverheads will take over after the defensive stop. Everything's going Riverheads' way right now. They've got 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line with 10:08 to go here in the third quarter. And they have an opportunity to add onto this 14-0 lead.
And this just feels like a time where Riverheads would like, a nice 8-minute drive and go up 3 scores. But they'll take anything quicker that they can get as long as they put points on the scoreboard, extend this lead.
1st and 10 for Bennett Dunlap and his offensive unit. They'll put Leitner out to the left. Here they're going to sweep the ball to the left side, and it's Cade Cook-Cash, and he has room. Out past the 50. He's to the 30, 25, 20. He's gone. 10, 5, touchdown. Cade Cook-Cash on that first play to start the second half offensively for the Gladiators, and just like that, it's 20-0.
62-yard touchdown run from Triple C, Caden Cook-Cash. I messed it up. Man, what a runner that he is. He has impressed me all season. He impressed me last year, and he does it right there. He scored the 3rd touchdown of the 3 that they've scored this football game, 62-yard run. And I talked about a long Riverheads drive. He makes it quick. He shut me up real quick. He scores first play from scrimmage right there, and just it absolutely feels like this one's on ice.
Cooper Robeson's going to do the point after, and we have flags. An early start by Galax, but that's the 3rd touchdown by Caden Cook-Cash. And Cash there, 62 yards. I mean, this is a sophomore running back, ladies and gentlemen. He's a sophomore, and he has 3 touchdowns here today.
Yeah, and I think he's halfway through his high school career, and I think he's halfway to the touchdown mark for Riverheads player here. We saw Zach Smiley extend that record last year, and now here's Triple C coming after it, and that's one of those records everybody's real happy to see broken. That means they're doing a lot of scoring. Triple C, the real deal.
The kick is up and good, 21-0, 9:56 to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to the Class 1 State Championship high school football game brought to you by Dave Brooks Electric on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Dave Brooks Electric. No job too small or too big. For more than 25 years, Dave Brooks Electric has served the electrical needs of residents, commercial, and industrial clients in and around Augusta County. And you can count on quality work at competitive rates. Wiring for new construction and remodels, service upgrades, bucket truck services, and more. When you need a qualified electrician, Dave Brooks Electric responds quickly. Their team of professionals are waiting to earn your business. For additional information, browse the website at davebrookselectric.com or give them a call today at 540-280-4483.
Stop by the Little Debbie Bakery store in Stewart's Draft and take advantage of the low money-saving prices. Enjoy everything from oatmeal cream pies to honey buns, from granola bars to donuts, and so much more. New store hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 till 4, and Fridays, 8 till 3. Closed on Saturdays and Sundays. The Little Debbie Bakery store, 2929 Stewart's Draft Highway, next to the Stewart's Draft Family Pharmacy.
Here's the return by Tater and Tucker. Going to be taken out to the 25-yard line. There's a nice little run back there by Tucker, and that's where Galax will take over with 9:48 to go here in the third quarter, trailing 21-0. Tell us about that drive there, that quick drive there, Joe.
Yeah, that was a one-play, 62-yard drive, and if it takes you longer than 12 seconds to run 62 yards, King Cook Cash is faster than you are.
Here they're going to drop Ashworth back. He's being flushed out of the pocket. He's now rolling out to his right. He throws the ball here to the near side. Incomplete through the hands of his intended receiver, and it was a nice throw by Ashworth as Aiden White could not come up with it, and it went right through his hands. And another good job there by Ashworth, just getting out of the pocket and making something happen.
And he put the ball where it needed to be, and Aiden White just unable to connect there. The sophomore receiver, 10 receptions, 81 yards on the season, 2 touchdowns, unable to connect right there. They need answers. They need to make plays like that.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Here they're going to throw the ball here to White on the near side. It's caught. White's trying to get here to the sideline. He'll be hit and dropped by Aiden Miller at about the 28. And then we have a late flag coming in.
What is that flag for?
He was over top of him. I think he earned it.
And it looks to me like they will call a personal foul on Riverheads on maybe a little taunting by Riverheads.
It was very little, I'll say that, but it was a little bit. And I think in the dynamic of this football game where it does just feel like Riverheads is dominating things, I think the referees want to keep this as clean as possible, so it was pretty minor, but he kind of did stand up on over top of him after the play, and that's going to get it unsportsmanlike. So it takes a great stop in the open field and gives Galax a first down and keeps them alive.
That's a bad call is what that is. That is just a bad call. He made a good play. He made a good tackle. He did not taunt that receiver there.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to factor in tonight, but still 21-0 the score. They're going to move the ball all the way out to the 42-yard line of Galax on the 15-yard penalty there. So it'll be a new set of downs for the Maroon Tide.
I definitely think the dynamic of the football game at the moment, it played a big role into that.
Could have. Just trying to keep it under control, maybe.
And it was very little, but enough. Go ahead.
2 receivers to each side. Ashworth's going to throw the ball to the far sideline, and it's going to be caught. Just another little quick pass, little 5 and turn as number 5 Jackson Alderman makes the catch. And now he's just trying to, Galax just trying to do little 5-yard passes where they do 5 yards turn and the ball goes right on them. And they are moving it down the field a little bit.
Yeah, and their rushing game has been shut down primarily today. They're still going to have to mix it in, but at the right times. And we do see Cole Burton back on the field. We saw him hurt a couple plays ago, but over there playing defense there, part of the tackle.
So 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Now Ashworth's going to throw the ball again. The White here right at midfield. He turns, cuts up inside. Going to get to the 46-yard line, and that'll be a pickup of about 7 yards to number 4, Aiden White, and that will move the chains again. So another little curl route, 5-yard curl, and it's going to be enough for the first down. The ball will be at the Gladiators' 46-yard line with 8:35 to go here in the third quarter. Riverheads leading 21-0.
And Galax happy here, dinking and dunking, but they're hoping one of these breaks off for a touchdown. I really think they need to have one of those soon to gain momentum.
Shotgun formation, lone sit back to the left. They're going to throw it to the far sideline, and it's through the hands of Alderman over there on the far side as Alderman tried to do an out route, and the ball goes through his hands. But what a nice throw there by Ashworth. I mean, that was an out route, and he hit him right on his hands, right on his, put it right where he needed to.
What's his number? How many completions out of attempts?
For Ashworth, he is 8 of 11 and 2.
8 of 11. Those, I was going to say, it feels like all 3 have been good throws that have been incomplete, and then 2 definite drops. So he's doing a good job at the quarterback position.
He got 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Here they're going to throw the ball over the middle, and he sails it over the head of his intended receiver, as that's Mason Cox. He tried to go deep over the middle and throws it over his head. So now it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Maroon Tide. There they tried to do a little fake pass there. He did a little, he acted like he was going to throw it, and then he threw it deep down the middle.
Yeah, and they threw it 149 times on the season. So, 12 passes a game. They've kind of already reached that mark, and they're going to have to throw it more to win this football game. And this is where, this little dink and dunk, if you have 2 plays in a row don't go your way, you're looking at 3rd and long. That's what they have right now.
2 to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to throw the ball over the middle again, and it's caught. It's number 5. That's Alderman. Alderman's all the way down inside the 20, and they're going to mark it right at the 20. A 26-yard pass play as Jackson Alderman did a slant over the middle, and Ashworth hit him over the middle for the first down.
Great job out of Alderman getting to that open spot on the field, catching the football, holding on to it. Great job. Gets Galax into scoring position here.
8 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 21-0. Two receivers to the left, to the right. Ashworth out of the shotgun. He takes the snap, a couple steps back. He's being blitzed. Now he's being rushed out of the pocket. He's still on his feet, inside the 20, the 15, and he's going to get all the way down to the 10-yard line. He'll have close to first down yardage. What a play there by the quarterback, Ian Ashworth.
Incredible play by Ashworth, avoiding all that contact in the backfield. It seemed like every different Riverheads guy back there had a chance for a really good shot on him, and he just slides right off that contact.
I mean, that looked like that could have been a 10-yard loss, Joe.
Oh, yeah. He was surrounded by Riverheads jerseys. He did a great job, though, with the awareness to move up in the pocket, almost get a first down.
Keeps his head up. Good job.
Yeah, he'll take the snap out of the shotgun. He's being flushed out of the pocket again, rolling to his left. Here he throws the football, and he throws it out of bounds, and that's another hitsy play by Ashworth, the quarterback, just to be able to not take the loss and be able to throw it out of bounds and pretty much live to make another play.
Yeah, and it just with their back up against the wall right here, Ashworth coming up with big plays. Right there, even the incomplete was big because he got out of contact again and throws the ball and you know, at least an attempt of a play there, which could have been a big sack. He at least, you know, now is third and short.
He's up under center this time. He takes the snap himself, and he's going to get inside the 10-yard line, and he will have enough for the first down on the third and short.
And you have to cash in here if you're Galax. You've got the football into the end goal situation, and they have to find a way to score on these next four plays. And this is where we saw Riverheads, this playoff run particularly, we've highlighted. They've really clamped down in the end goal situation and not allowed points in so many of those opportunities. We'll see what Galax is able to do down here now with first and goal from the 9.
So it is first and goal for Galax here at the Riverheads 9-yard line. They got two receivers to the left, two to the right. Lone setback to his left out of the shotgun formation.
Timeout, Galax.
And now we will have a timeout called, and Galax will take a quick timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here. And this by far, Joe, is the best offensive drive that Galax has had all game long.
It is, and it was helped out by the 15-yard penalty because
no doubt.
The other thing there to factor in, if that 15-yard penalty hadn't been called, you're looking at 3rd and 9.
That's right.
Because or a 3rd and 8, because even though the pass was complete, the receiver had ran back to reestablish himself and try to go forward when Aiden Miller threw him to the ground and then got called for taunting afterwards. So that gave them a first down, and since then they have moved the ball right through the air. They've been great at passing. That post route, I felt like to Alderman was the biggest play here in the middle of the field. That was a 3rd down conversion, I believe. Yeah. So that kind of gave them the situation where they are now. But we saw Essex drive to go situations twice last weekend. They had first and goals at the 5.
Right. Couldn't
convert. Now this is a first and goal at the 9. We'll see what Galax can do.
Looks to me like they are staying in the shotgun with a spread offense. Two receivers to the left, to the right with first and goal. Ashworth takes the snap. He's going to call his own number. He goes up the middle inside to 5. He jumps forward. And let's see. I thought he was down before. I thought he was definitely down before, and I think they're going to say he was.
There's no signal, but I don't know how you can't say he was down. He was down at like the 2.
But that definitely was a called quarterback keeper there, a little quarterback draw. They're going to mark it at the half-yard line.
He was down before that. And their fans aren't happy, but that's not what just happened. But, okay, Riverhead's got to step up here.
Now he's up under center. He takes the snap. He tries to move forward. And let's see what we have. No signal yet.
I don't think he's in.
They haven't signaled it yet. I don't think he's in.
And it's going to bring up third
After that
down.
last spot, I'm not going to put anything past this crew. But
I mean, this is a 3rd down play here. I mean, it's right. It's almost on the line.
And so when they played down here 2 times ago when it was a 7-point game, we saw Galax stopped in these kind of positions.
Here they're going to give it to him again.
I think he's in.
And he's going to go in for the score. So the quarterback keeper right up the middle. And Galax does go in for the touchdown. And that will make it 21-6 with 5:24 on the clock here in the third quarter.
There's an answer that they've been hoping to have for a while now, and to make it not too little too late, they got to find ways to get quick stop against this Riverheads offense that they have not really stopped since that first drive of the football game. But good job there, getting points on the scoreboard.
Rivera's point after is up, and it is good. 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. It's 21-7. Riverheads and Galax. Riverheads leading by 2 touchdowns. You're listening to State Championship Saturday Class 1 football here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Experience the Sunrise Farms difference of non-GMO family farming. Sunrise Farms' commitment to personal service means high-quality products, responsive customer interactions, and integrity, like their grass-finished cattle that provides optimally marbled, all-natural beef. Pick up an online order or shop Sunrise Farms storefront. They have all-natural pork, all-natural chicken, turkey, and lamb, raised on all-natural diets that are nutritionally supplemented with non-GMO feeds produced right here at Sunrise Farms. Order online if you'd like at sunrisefarm.net or visit the storefront, 2177 Tinkling Springs Road in Stewart's Draft. Sunrise Farms, all natural meats and feeds.
UPS is now hiring seasonal driver helpers, package handlers, and personal vehicle drivers for the Fishersville location. Positions available immediately. UPS needs your help to deliver for the holidays. Apply online at upsjobs.com.
Live from the ESPN and Right Way Hyundai Studios, this is WTON AM, Stanton, Waynesboro, and Harrisonburg.
All right, 21-7, the score with 5:24. Here, Rivera is running up to the football, and now they tried the onside kick, and it's going to go. I mean, it didn't even go 3 yards. He totally missed the football. It's like me hitting the tee, hitting the ball off the tee box.
I didn't want to say that to you, Chad.
The ball is at the 43-yard line, and that's where Riverheads will take over. He totally whiffed.
Yeah, and that's where, trying to steal a possession goes wrong when you're not able to execute that properly. I think we saw Florida State a couple weeks ago try to do the same thing, and it looked exactly like that, where he just missed the ball and the wind of his foot or just the shoelace knocks it off the tee, and Riverhead's going to take over right there because the ball obviously doesn't go 10 yards. And Riverhead's football close, on their side, on the good side of the field with 5:23 to go.
Here they're going to give the ball sweeping to the left side to Cook Cash. Cash falls forward to the 41-yard line. Be a pickup of about a yard as going to bring up second and about 9 as Cash picks up 1 yard there. 21-7. Tell us about that drive there, Joe.
Yeah, it was a 13-play, 75-yard drive. It took 4:32 for Galax, and it makes it a 14-point game. But as Leland was saying, they got to stop Riverheads here.
And this is Riverhead's best starting field position of the day.
4:50 to go in the third quarter, 21-7. Dunlap up under center. He's going to give it to Cook Cash, sweeping the right side. He has room. He's inside the 30. He could go 20, 15, 10, and he gets tripped up by number 9, Ian Ashworth, and he'll be down at about the 7-yard line. It was a shoestring tackle by Ashworth. He got him around the ankles, and if he didn't get that, it's a touchdown.
And honestly, I've seen Caden Cook Cash, even when he got tripped up, even as he took the stumbling steps, I've seen him this year come back up out of that. He has such great balance. He's such a great runner of keeping his feet, and I thought he still might save that there, but he does go down. Ashworth gets enough contact to bring him down, but it is Riverhead's first and goal.
First and goal at the 7. They're going to sweep it to the left side again, get inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. And it's Cash on the carry, and he'll pick up maybe about 2 yards, going to bring up second and goal at the 4. 4:04 to go here in the third quarter, 21-7. Riverhead's leading, and it's second and goal at the Galax 4-yard line.
And just that Galax up against the wall again here. I mean, they finally get something positive in this football game, bring it back down to a 14-point game, but it's just not.
Well, they're wearing
well.
down.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're wearing down. Here, Cook Cash going to sweep it to the left side, and he gets hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of about a yard there.
How many carries does Caden have?
So it's going to bring up third and goal.
For Riverheads, that was Caden Cook Cash's 15th carry.
Yeah, and that's a lot of carries. They've gone to him a lot today. Last week, he only had 6 carries. We've seen, he had more than that last week. He had 10 carries last week, but we've seen him 17 carries, the most he's ever had in one game, and he's kind of on pace for that now.
Third and goal at the 5-yard line. Dunlap under center. He'll put a man in motion. They're going to roll Dunlap out to his right. He's looking downfield. Here's the pass. Oh, and it's going to go incomplete. as Leitner had to go diving for it. And Landon Leitner almost came up with it on the dive. It was a good job by Dunlap to even get rid of it. And now it's going to bring up 4th and 4. And it looks to me like Coach Casto is going to bring on the field goal unit.
I like the decision there.
It
extends.
Make it a 3-possession ball game.
Yep.
I like it myself.
If it wasn't the different of a 3-possession game or not, then maybe you'd question it. But no, I like it, and go ahead and extend it here, extend the lead by possessions here.
At 21-7, this will make it a 17-point ball game. Cooper Robeson waiting for the kick. Here's the snap. It's up. And it is good. It's a pretty one by Robeson.
His first made field goal of the year.
Wow. Right down the middle. It's tried and true. 24-7. 2:52 to go here in the third quarter. We're going to send it out the break. You're listening to the State Championship Saturday here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Looking for a new vehicle? Look no further than Right Way Hyundai. Right now, get 0% for 60 months on most 2021s on the lot and 1.9% on most 2022s on the lot. Right Way Hyundai provides all Hyundai owners with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. That's a lot of added assurance and confidence. Come check out the all-new 2022 Hyundai Tucsons at the dealership today. The best way, the only way. That's Right Way, 2551 West Main Street in Waynesboro. Or visit on the web at rightwayhyundai.com. Right Way Hyundai, the better way to buy a car.
Henry Funeral Home in Stanton is a proud supporter of Augusta County High School football on ESPN 1240, The Boss. We take this time to thank all families who support our student athletes. Football brings our friends and our families together and teaches us that athletics is good for the mind, the body, and the soul. Good luck on a great season from Henry Funeral Home. Online at henryfuneralhome.net.
Here's going to be the kickoff by Ropes, and he'll bounce at the 17, taken at the 10. He's going to get out to the 28, and he'll get close to the 29-yard line. And let's see who was on the return there. I think it's number 15.
That's Bird, 18.
Okay, I'm sorry, number 18, Jaden Bird, was on the return there. So 24-7, 2:45, and I guess tell us about that scoring drive there, Joe.
It's a 6-play, 38-yard drive. Riverhead stalls, and they kick the field goal, the 21-yarder by Robeson Good. His first field goal of the year makes it 24-7.
Cooper Robeson there hadn't made a field goal on the football field since the first quarter of the state championship game last year against Galax when he put a 26-yarder through. This time puts the 21-yarder through.
Here they're going to go deep over the middle, and it's incomplete as number 3, Mason Cox, was wide open, and Ashworth airmailed it again right over his head. If he would have just thrown that one and let him go get it, that's a touchdown right there. He was wide open over the middle.
Yeah, he was, and he just overshot him a little bit. I was going to say maybe the wind, but the wind has kind of died down a little bit since then, and Galax has put themselves in a hole there. I thought the onside kick was maybe a little early to go to, but that's one of those, if you get it, you're a genius, and if you don't, people are going to question you. So.
Here are 2 receivers. Ashworth being flushed out of the pocket. He's going to be hit. Oh, no, he's still on his feet. I thought he was down, and he gets hit and dropped at about the 26-yard line. He's still going to lose a couple yards, but he could have lost about 8 yards there. I thought they had him down, but then he was able to get out of it. This guy is like a magician back there a little bit.
He's sneaky, and he's sliding off tackles, and he's doing a great job. Real good body control. He was the best receiver in the football game a year ago as he caught the ball 11 times for 156 yards against this Riverheads team. He did it out in the open space last year. This time he's behind center, running for his life.
4 wide, 2 on each side. They're going to drop him straight back. Now he's being flushed out of the pocket again. He's going to call his own number, and he's going to get hit and drop for another sack. Right at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a yard as he was moving up in the pocket, but he gets dropped, and it may be a yard pickup, but the coaching staff, they are letting somebody have it over there for Galax. They thought maybe they had an opportunity there.
Yeah, and this coverage downfield for the Riverheads defensive backs has gotten better, and that's why he's holding the football even a little bit longer now. We've seen that here some in the second half where he just has that football a bit longer in the backfield than he did in the first half, maybe even that scoring drive, and that's what's forced, not a lot of gain here from the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage there.
I'd like to see Caden Cook-Cash take off with this one.
I would too, man.
Here is the kick. It's going to take a bounce for Galax, so go to the center of the field away from Caden Cook Cash, and they'll down it at the Riverheads 24-yard line, and that's where Riverheads will take over. You know you're having a bad night when your punter has been one of your best ball players.
Yeah, it's never a good sign for how the game's going, and even though he's had these good punts, he's not really changed the game with his punts. You got to have the good punt with the good defense behind it, and Galax allowing Riverheads to score on all but one possession that didn't end the half there. The first possession of the football game, they got the stop, but ever since then, Riverheads has been driving the football down the field.
So here we're going to have a 1st and 10 for Riverheads at their own 24. They're going to sweep it to the left side. It's all kinds of room. Out past the 40, to the 50. He could go all the way. It's Luke Bryant inside the 30, the 20, the 10. 5 touchdown. Luke Bryant takes it 66 yards for the touchdown.
What a play there. I mean, that's 76 yards.
Yes,
and Luke Bryant, and he just has come alive this football season, and especially that Lord Botetourt game, the 3rd game of the year, is when we kind of all got introduced to what he was able to do in the prime time under the lights on varsity football, and he's been doing it ever since. And right there, 76 yards for the touchdown, surprising everybody to speed. But I want to talk about Randy Cash right there. Didn't give the illegal block. He stayed on his feet, got between the running back with the football and the guy coming after him, and just kept that from being a tackle and also not blocking him in the back. What a play by Randy Cash there to help that touchdown run.
So with 59 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's 31-7 on the touchdown run by Luke Bryant, 76 yards, and this one's turning into a blowout. We're going to send it out to quick break. You're listening to the State Championship Saturday here on ESPN 1240 The Boss.
Stop by the Little Debbie Bakery store in Stewart's Draft and take advantage of the low money-saving prices. Enjoy everything from oatmeal cream pies to honey buns, from granola bars to donuts, and so much more. New store hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 till 4, and Fridays, 8 till 3. Closed on Saturdays and Sundays. The Little Debbie Bakery Store, 2929 Stewart's Draft Highway, next to the Stewart's Draft Family Pharmacy.
I'm ready.
All right, a big touchdown run there by Luke Bryant makes it 31-7 with 59 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here's the kick by Robeson, and it's going to be taken at the 20-yard line by Galax. Out to the 25, it's Reeves, and Reeves cuts inside. It'll be knocked down at about the 28. Tell us about that quick drive there, Joe.
Well, it was one play. Luke Bryant went 76 yards in 12 seconds. Now, in Caden Cook Cash's defense, the offensive lineman didn't.
That's right. He
didn't have to bounce off of an offensive lineman, but the offensive line has done a great job for Riverheads opening up holes for these backs all day.
Yeah, and Randy Cash running the field basically right beside Luke Bryant right there, showing his speed from the offensive lineman. But the other good offensive linemen doing a great job for him all year. Tanner Bowles, Mitchell Winthrow, it's just a lot of good guys up there creating these holes.
Here Ashworth throws a quick slant over there to the far sideline. It's complete. There'll be an 11-yard pickup over the middle to Jackson Alderman. And Alderman has an 11-yard catch for their first down to start this drive for Galax. 31-7. We're under a minute, 40 seconds to go here until the end of the 3rd quarter, into the 4th quarter. It looks like it's going to be 6 in a row for the Riverheads Gladiators. Here they're going to throw another slant over the middle. It'll be caught by Aiden White. White gets out past the 45 to the 46, so it'll be about a 8-yard pickup by the Maroon Tide. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 3. 14, 13, 12 seconds to go.
They got to hurry
here
up
in the 3rd quarter.
Wasting a lot of time looking at the sideline here.
They need a lot of good plays.
Might be a little too late on this one.
Yeah.
2 to each side, 4 receivers. Here they're going to throw another quick curl around here. He's going to make a catch at the 50, and now he's going
trying
backwards.
to do too much. He's trying to do too much.
He's going to get marked all the way back to the 45-yard line as number 3, Mason Cox, trying to go all the way across the field. And he'll lose about 4 or 5 yards trying to do so, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 4, and that's going to send us to the 4th quarter. 31-7 here in the state championship football game. Riverheads leading over Galax. They're looking to win 6 in a row. We're going to send it to break. You're listening to State Championship Saturday on ESPN 1240 The Boss.
In a changing job market, it is now more important than ever to obtain your high school diploma or GED. Did you know that most local employers are now requiring a GED or high school diploma for employment? At the Stanton Augusta Adult Learning Center in Fishersville, we have a team of dedicated teachers here to help you achieve your educational dreams. Come in today for your free GED Ready practice testing at 49 Hornet Road in Fishersville. Remember, no one gets a diploma alone.
Honey, we need more buckets.
What we need is to call Sanger Roofing to come put a new roof on this house. I'm tired of raindrops falling on my head. And they offer Atlas Pristine Shingles with 3M Scotchgard lifetime protection against algae stains and streaks.
Okay, you convinced me. Go ahead, give them a call.
What's the number?
801-0303.
Or SengerRoofing.com online.
Trust Sanger Roofing. They supply materials and labor for a worry-free job.
All right, here's the pass play by Ashford. It's going to be complete to White. Aiden White for a first down. And he'll get to the 49-yard line here to start the fourth quarter off. 1st and 10 for Galax. Ashworth will take the snap. He's going to pump fake. Here he's looking to go across the far sideline. He'll go incomplete behind his intended receiver, Aiden White. But Ashworth did a little pump fake there. It looked to me like he wanted to try to go deep. And he'll go incomplete as he went to his next read, and it was behind the intended receiver on the far sideline. So 11:33 to go. Going to bring up 2nd and 10 for Galax. And we have 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Lone setback to the left. Out of the shotgun formation, he takes the snap, and he'll call his own number. Ashworth going to get inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line. So a pickup of about 7 yards there. Going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Maroon Tide. I'm sorry.
Especially since that worked. That I like that play from Galax, that the quarterback ran it forward, picked up positive yards, and makes this 3rd down more manageable for this team. Instead of dropping back there, trying to find a big pass, running for his life, maybe taking a sack, maybe not getting any yards, moving it forward, making 3rd more manageable because they're in 4-down territory here out.
And it gets the clock moving as well. Here's the 3rd and 3. Ashworth's going to step up in the pocket, and it's going to go incomplete through the hands of Mason Cox, number 3, and that was almost picked off. All kinds of Riverheads Gladiators around that one. Sort of ricocheted off the shoulder pad of Cox as he threw a fastball. Ashworth did to him and went right through his hands off the shoulder pads, and then all kinds of Gladiators had an opportunity at it.
Yeah, and that was Burton applying the blow there. And it looked like David Austin was going to be the closest one maybe to try to pick that one up off the ricochet, but unable to get it here. But a big 4th down here for Galax might be their last breaths here.
4 receivers, 2 on each side. Lone set back to the left. Here he's going to call his own number up the middle, and I don't think he got it. Oh, I don't know. They gave him a heck of a spot.
What a spot.
They gave him one heck of a spot.
I still think he's short, though.
He had to get to the 39.
I think he needs all the way the 39. I don't think he has it.
Yeah, they spotted him between the 40 and the 39, but that's not the 39.
I don't know if he ever crossed the 40.
He's going to spot it on the far side over there.
He's short.
I think he is short. Let's see.
They might measure.
They will need to measure.
Yeah, they can take a look at it for dramatic effect, but he's short.
We're not on TNT here.
So they will stop the clock with 10:45 to go here in the ball game. Riverheads leading 31-7. And guys, we can go. I guess we are watching the history right now.
Either way, we're watching history. I mean, they've already accomplished history. They already own the record for most consecutive state championships. They're extending that number. They already have the longest winning streak in the nation. They're extending that number, owning it on their own. So we've been watching history. It continues here tonight, and the numbers just get bigger for the Gladiators.
Now this one's going to move it to 50. They'll have sole possession of the longest win streak in high school football in America. And we looked it up. It's 24,000 high schools in America.
Public high schools.
High schools. There's 24,000 public high schools.
And that's a rounded number. And, of course, some of them don't have football.
Some of those don't have football. And some of them have 7-on-7 as well. But still, you're in the tens of thousands that do.
Yeah. An incredible mark.
31-7. Here they're going to run the football here to the near
Luke's
side.
going again.
It's going to be Bryant. He's out past midfield. He jumps a defender at the 45-yard line and then gets tackled at the 40. And Luke Bryant's sort of putting on a show here in the second half.
And this is what you do when, it's nice that you have other options than Caden Cook-Cash, one of the best running backs to ever rush for Riverheads, and he's only a sophomore. Here's Luke Bryant keeping the name for himself. We've seen Colt Burton, especially in these state championship games, really shine. But Luke Bryant here having his opportunity. Ashworth came in late there trying to take his feet out. He just jumps over top of it, picks up a couple more yards, gets into Galax territory.
Yeah, Luke Bryant's only a junior.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a junior and a sophomore that have gained over 100 yards today.
And their quarterback will be back, too.
Here Dunlap's up under center. Here they're going to pitch it to the right side. It's Caden Cook-Cash. He's inside the 35 to the 30, 25, still on his feet, and going to get knocked down at about the 22-yard line. And that will be a pickup of about 17 yards. And now they're just making it look too easy.
Yeah, and I gave Galax the credit that if any team in the state of Virginia in Class 1 can beat Riverheads, they're the team, and I still think that, and I think we're just seeing that there is no one in Class 1, and we've seen that for the last 6 years now, and Galax has given them all kinds, given it all, and they just don't have it. We're seeing the separation that Riverheads has built between them and the rest of Class 1, and, they'll cap off this season with this group of kids just showing that separation.
Here they're going to give the ball to Noah Smiley up the middle of the fullback. And Smiley's going to get hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Pick up. Actually, they're going to say he picked up about 2 yards there.
Josh Watson with a good block right there up front, but Peyton Snell also doing a good job driving, making a little bit of hole there for the running back to go up in and at least get positive yardage.
Leland McCray will have an interview with Coach Casto immediately following the ball game after they do a little celebration, of course. Here they're going to sweep the ball to the right side. It'll be Bryant again. And the ball's on the ground, and I think it went out of bounds.
I do, too.
Galax ball player got on it, but let's see what they're going to do. I think he got it out of bounds, and I think they're going to say it still belongs with with Riverheads.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I know Galax probably won't enjoy that over there, but I think that's the right call. That ball was still bouncing around as it went out of bounds. There was no kind of possession until the defender was laying on the white there. And I don't even hear. I think enough people saw how that happened correctly, even from the far side, that stays Riverheads football. And, he puts it on the ground, but it still bounces in the Riverheads way there.
Yeah, it took a Riverheads bounce, and the defender, cornerback for Galax tried to jump on it, but he was out of bounds when he came up with it. So here Riverheads has the ball, 1st and goal. They're going to sweep it to the right side. It's Cook-Cash, and he's going to walk in. Caden Cook-Cash walks in the end zone on the 1st and goal with 8:58 to go in the ball game. They add on. It's 37-7. And another touchdown by Triple C.
Yeah, 4th touchdown of the day for Caden Cook-Cash. And we heard Coach Casto after one of the previous games saying, hey, we have Caden Cook-Cash and they don't. And that's the difference, a huge difference in this football game here today, is that Riverheads has Caden Cook-Cash and Galax doesn't. And 4 touchdowns on the day, all from the rushing game.
Point after by ropes it up and good. 38-7 the score. 8:58 to go in the ball game. We're going to send it out to a quick break. You're listening to State Championship Saturday here on ESPN 1240 The Boss.
Henry Funeral Home in Stanton is a proud supporter of Augusta County High School football on ESPN 1240 The Boss. We take this time to thank all families who support our student athletes. Football brings our friends and our families together and teaches us that athletics is good for the mind, the body, and the soul. Good luck on a great season from Henry Funeral Home. Online at henryfuneralhome.net.
8:58 to go in the ball game. Another touchdown by the Gladiators. Extends the lead to 38-7. Tell us about the scoring drive there, Mr. Deck.
It was 5 plays, 60 yards, a minute 47. It was another Caden Cook-Cash touchdown, this one from 9 yards out.
So it's 38-7 with 8:58 to go. Here's a little pooch kick, and it's going to be out of bounds as Galax watches the ball go out of bounds. And flags will be thrown with the kick going out of bounds. So 38-7 the score. And let's see what Galax wants to do there.
I think you just take it.
Take it at 35. Yeah, that's where they would take it if it was inside of the 35.
But
You
Cook
just said
Cash, he has 18 carries, 226 yards to go with those 4 touchdowns.
That's All-State Offensive Player of the Year, Caden Cook Cash. I'll just, knock out the this.
We don't have to wait.
We don't have to wait till the meeting this week. And
Okay, you're ready to. I know we wanted to wait before we said Riverheads was going to win this game, but
yeah, I like for them to take the field first. But yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Now that Caden Cook Cash has actually ran for 4 touchdowns, I am comfortable saying.
Well, they
that.
haven't met in the room yet, so we don't know.
Here they're going to have a receiver to the right, and they're going to hand the ball off to number 7. That's going to be Reeves off right tackle, and he's going to try to cut it up, maybe gain about a yard. Not much happening there. Going to be second and about 9.
So Caden will be over 1,500 yards rushing, approaching 1,600 yards rushing on the season, averaging over 11.4 yards a carry coming into the game. He had 32 total touchdowns coming into the game, and now he has 36, and I think he carried over 10 plus from last year. I mean, he's approaching 50 touchdowns for his career.
Here's second and 9. They're going to motion a man over to the left side. Ashworth's going to turn and hand it to Reeves off the left side. He's going to get out past the 45, close to midfield. Going to be a pickup of about 9 yards there by Javante Reeves off the left side. Now it just looks like Galax just wants to get the clock moving, shorten the ball game, and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice when they can still gain some good yardage there like they did there. But, they have fight in them, but it's going to be no matter what they do here, they're just not going to be able to overtake this deficit. And just the little positive they've had, they haven't been able to piece it together on top of each other.
So it's third and short. They're going to hand it to Reeves right up the middle off right guard. And he's going to have enough for the first down. They're marking at the 46 after about a 4-yard pickup. So that will move the chains for Galax. Clock moving 7:30 to go here in the ball game. It's 38-7. Riverheads leading over Galax. Chip Crable, Joe Deck, Leland McCray here with you as it's state final Saturday. Still have some other scores. Do you have any other scores from some other games?
Yeah, I'll get them here in a second. I have written some down, but I'll give them to you here collected.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Maroon Tide. Ashworth out of the pistol. He's going to fake it to Reeves. He'll roll out. Now he's being blitzed. Hitting the backfield. He gets off the throw, and it's caught by number 33, Colton Barnes, at the 41-yard line. So how Ashworth got that ball off, he had all kinds of gladiators around him. Actually, one of the gladiators had his shirt, was pulling him down, and he still was able to manage to throw the football.
Yeah, it was a great defensive effort, great offensive. It was good football. Both teams doing a great job at, finding something positive there, the good defensive pressure, and then Galax still finding a way to find positive yards.
Be a 6-yard pickup, going to bring up 2nd and 4. Ball resting at the 41 of Riverheads. They'll give it to Reeves off the right side. Reeves inside the 40, inside the 30. He's going to take it to the house. 10-5 touchdown for Javante Reeves of Galax. And he's going to go from 41 yards out for the TD. Going to make it 38-13, awaiting the point after.
That's positive for Galax. They need that like on every play offensively now.
Yeah.
And they need onside.
We said 42-14, didn't we, Leland? We're not far.
Yeah, we're in that area. That field goal messed us up.
You're right. If we'd have gotten the touchdown, we'd be right there. Here is the kick and the point after by number 2, Alberto Vera, is up and good. So with 6:22 to go in the ball game, it's 38-14. Riverheads leading. You're listening to the State Championship Saturday, brought to you by Dave Brooks Electric here on ESPN 1240 The Boss.
In today's real estate market, many buyers are buying as is for informational purposes only or skipping the home inspection altogether. Do not skip the home inspection. Call Aztec Home Inspections. With Aztec, even as is gets you protected when Aztec Home Inspections conducts your inspection. Call 540-830-0259 or go online at aztechomeInsp.com and schedule now.
38-14 on a nice little run there by number 7, Javante Reeves, of 41 yards. Tell us about that scoring drive there, Mr. Deck.
Well, it was a 5-play, 59-yard drive, 2 minutes, 36 seconds. And again, like you mentioned, it was the big run by Reeves from 41 yards out, which means Galax is now in onside Hail Mary mode.
They're going to do an onside kick, it looks like. Here's the kick by Vera. And it's on the ground over there, and I think Galax got it.
They think they do.
I think they did get it. They were able to recover the onside kick, and Galax will have the football at the Riverheads 46-yard line. Unfortunately, it's going to be just a little too late in this ball game.
Yeah, if we're wrong, it's going to be one of those things they show on Sports Center. It's one of those viral videos.
The miracle in Salem.
Yeah, we've seen them. You see them out of like Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
What was that one game? Did you ever see that one game?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, where like every play had to go right.
That team did lose.
Yeah, they did. They got the lead, and then they had to kick it off, and the other team returned it for a touchdown to win it, to get it back. It was crazy.
It was amazing. Here they're going to give the ball to Reeves up the middle, and he's not going far. He might lose a yard on that. Nice job there by Aiden Miller for the Gladiator defense.
So the score updates that you wanted in Class 3, we do have Phoebus and Liberty Christian. Still no one has scored since the first quarter. It's still 14-7, Phoebus leading Liberty Christian. And then in Class 5, you have Maury leading Stonebridge 14-13 in that 1-point game in the fourth quarter.
Wow. That looks like a good one. 5:50 to go here in the ball game here. 38-14, Riverheads leading. Ashworth's going to call his own number on the sweep to the right side. He's inside the 40. Gets hit. Still on his feet. Getting close to the 35-yard line. And it'll be a pickup of about 11 yards. I think he's going to have enough for the first down over there. He will move the chains. Good thing to see, I guess, if you're Galax's coaches. Yeah, they're still battling. I mean, here they are in the state title game. They know it's over. It's 38-14 with 5:30, but they're still out there working hard. I mean, hats off there to Coach Allen and his staff.
Yeah, and that's the mentality. You keep them fighting because you're going to want these guys fighting through everything next year too. And that's the lesson to learn here is you never give up, and you can still have the positives. Even if the final's not going to go their way, they can still find positives here to work from and give these guys confidence moving forward. Like, hey, we did move it on Riverheads in that football game.
Here they're going to roll. Now we're going to have whistles and a flag. And let's see. So we have a delay of game.
They just took too long to get that snap off.
You're in a must-hurry-up mode.
And you used 40 seconds off the clock.
You can't do that. If you're not actually trying to score and come back, don't kick the onside kick. I've never seen this. I have never seen a team get called for delay of game in a we-got-to-hurry-up mode. They're running the clock out on themselves. It's amazing. Do the hula hoop arms over there. Apparently that's run the clock on ourselves. That's what that signal is.
Here, so it was a 5-yard penalty. Going to bring up 1st and 15. Ashworth takes the snap. He's rolling out to his right out of the shotgun. Steps up. He's being blitzed. Now he just throws it. Oh, and it's intercepted. What an interception. What number is that over there?
Hostetler.
55, and that is Logan Hostetler. He tipped the ball to himself before he was running out of bounds. He stopped on a dive right before he got to the sideline, made the catch, stopped in bounds, and then ran out of bounds with the football and the interception. That right there was a Sports Center highlight play.
That is the highlight of the football game. We've had long runs. We've had big plays, some good catches. But no, that's the highlight, number one highlight of the football game. Absolutely making it on his own there, popping it up, catching it, keeping his feet in. Unbelievable play on the sideline by the linebacker.
Here they're going to give it to Bryant, sweeping the right side. Bryant's going to get run out of bounds here on the near side at the Riverheads 47-yard line.
And that's sophomore Logan Hostetler.
That was a heck of a play there, Joe.
and that was just the ultimate swagger because he tips it up, catches it, and then takes one step out of bounds to just be like, the game is over.
I mean, but the thing is that he stayed inbound.
Yes.
He stopped on a dime.
Aware. I mean, he's worried about the football coming down the field. He's aware of where his feet are the entire time. What a play out of the sophomore.
That was a
so you
awesome
got two sophomore linebackers, one Caden Cook Cash and one Logan Hostetler there. I mean, that's something coming back for Riverheads.
Wow. Here they're going to give it to Brian again, sweeping right side. He has all kinds of room inside the 40 and trips up. If he didn't trip up, he's gone. They'll mark it at the 37. And Luke Bryan has had a tremendous football game. He really has.
Luke Bryan has 13 carries for 148 yards and a touchdown. He would have had 2 more, and adding 37 more yards had Ashworth, who I think leads Galax in touchdown-saving tackles today, picks up at least his second here on that one.
And that's Caden Cook-Cash. I mean, they took away fullback tonight. They've taken away Bryant. They didn't want to say Luke Burton, beat them again and be that impact player. Caden Cook-Cash and Luke Bryan absolutely beating Galax tonight, both of them with huge games. If it wasn't for the one, the other one would be player of the game.
Here they give it to Bryan again, sweeping the right side. He cuts it up in, and he'll be hit and dropped. Maybe this might have gotten a yard on the pickup there.
And just a reminder, this is Luke Bryan, a junior, who will be back. But also, in the first game of the season against Waynesboro, he came in mop-up duty. Against Perry McClure, second game of the season, again, some mop-up duty. Maybe some late first-half carries. Against Lord Botetourt is really when him being a primary back has started. He usually comes off the bench behind Aiden Miller, and he just takes it as far as he can every single carry.
3:40 to go in the ball game. 38-14, Riverheads leading. Dunlap looking at the clock now. Here he's up under center, puts a man in motion. They'll sweep it to the right side. It's Caden Cook-Cash. He tries to change field, go to the left side. He's still on his feet. Going to get knocked down at about the 32-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of about 5, maybe 4 or 5 yards by Cook-Cash. And now we have a late flag being thrown.
And it's on Galax.
They are going to call it on Galax. Probably going to be a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's a third down that's going to turn into a first down.
It's the last thing Coach Allen wants to see out of his football club.
No, and we've seen a lot of good play these last couple years with these matchups. This is the third year in a row these teams have met. Galax doesn't like to lose into Riverheads every single year to end their season at this point of the season, but there's a player just not handling that adversity well, and yeah, Coach Allen's not going to like that. No one wants to see that here tonight. You hate to see it.
So it should be a first down to 17.
Yeah, assuming it's first down. Yeah. I'm always questioning what's a first down these days. So
yeah, we know pass interference is an automatic first down to VHSL. It's the only level of football that's not the case. But
so 3:14 to go here in the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. Clock moving. 3:09 now. Bennett Dunlap is looking here to the sidelines, and I guess they're going to run the clock all the way down. 2:55 to go.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Gladiators here.
Here they give it to Burton. Cole Burton's going to run off the left side, and Burton gets inside the 10-yard line to about the 9-yard line. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on the carry, and it's going to bring up 2nd and short.
That phone ringing was the people watching my kids, so I answered it. They know what I'm doing right now.
Hope everything's all right.
They should be listening.
They're going to put the ball at the 10-yard line. So 2:25. And now they're starting to take ball players out of the ball game and putting some subs in. Riverhead's going to be winning their 6th state championship in a row.
9th overall. So impressive. 3rd most all-time VHSL.
Here they're going to give it to Miller, sweeping the right side. Miller's going to walk in. Aiden Miller walks in the end zone on the sweep to the right side. And that's going to be another touchdown by the Gladiators.
Aiden Miller getting the touchdown there to kind of close things out here for the Gladiators. And this is the guy he starts.
And for him.
He starts, a lot of games, and he just hasn't, he doesn't get the full carry in there because Luke Bryan has been so good. But he gets his 9th touchdown of the season, 8th from the running back position. And as a senior, kind of capping off what a great career he has. On defensive side of the ball, so important to the Gladiators as well as what he does offensively. And right there shows it, running the end zone untouched, walking in over the goal line.
Here's the point after by Robeson, up and good. We're going to take a full timeout here, Patrick. 45-14 with 2:05 to go. You're listening to the state championship Saturday here on high school football, ESPN 1240 The Boss.
Goose Creek Market, your hometown deli filled with homemade salads, desserts, and made-to-order subs and sandwiches, each sandwich filled with boar's head meats and cheeses, country-sized portions. Goose Creek Market opens at 5 each weekday and 6 on Saturday. Breakfast biscuits and fresh coffee from America's favorite brands await you. Goose Creek Market makes their salads and desserts in Don's Kitchen. This is a restaurant that sells gasoline, not a gas station that sells food. There are 3 Augusta County locations: Fishersville beside the Hampton Inn off I-64 exit 91, in Stanton off I-81 exit 220 beside Applebee's, and in Stewart's Draft on Stewart's Draft Highway in front of the middle and high schools. Goose Creek Market is locally owned. The profits stay here in our community. Goose Creek Market's mission is to dedicate each day to serve their community with excellence in every way possible. To take pride in the quality and freshness of all their food, treat everyone with kindness and respect, and to help people with any special needs to have a pleasant experience in their stores.
Here, the kickoff's going to go to Reeves. Reeves catches it about the 12, and Gianna Reeves will get out to about the 28-yard line before he's brought down there. Javante Reeves, I should say. And so we have 1:57 to go in the ball game. It's 45-14, and tell us about the final drive of the 2021 football season for the Riverheads Gladiators.
We think. We think. Yeah, it might be. Six plays, 61 yards. Well, we think. 2 minutes and 52 seconds, but it was Aiden Miller scoring what might be the final touchdown of the year for Riverheads.
(45-14) the score. Ashworth's going to hand the ball off to Reeves on the right side. Reeves out past the 30 to the 35, still on his feet. And will get knocked down at about the 39. It's going to be a pickup of about 12 yards. And that will move the chains for the Galax Maroon Tide.
We will have a post-game interview with Coach Robert Casto from the field after the football game. They'll have, pass out the trophy and pass out the medals to each player. But after all that, we will get a live on-the-field interview with Coach Robert Casto.
So 1:30 to go in the ball game. Ashworth's going to hand the ball off to Reeves again, sweeping the right side. Reeves will be hit and dropped. Going to be a pickup of maybe a yard, but not much other than that. A lot of backups in the ball game now for the Gladiators.
And that's an incredible thing. They're throwing backups in a state championship football game. We've seen them in, pretty much each of the playoff games as well leading up to this point. And it's just an incredible opportunity for these kids to get on the field in this moment.
So we're under a minute here to go. 45-14. Ashworth watching the clock. He's going to call his own number, sweeping the left side. He's out past the 45, inside the 50. He'll get into Riverheads territory at about the 48. And he'll be brought down there, and that's going to be about a 12-yard pickup, and now we'll move the chains again. I like to see Ian Ashworth.
He's good.
Coach Casto was right. Said he had a lot of talent. He does have a lot of talent.
He's good. He's a senior, so they won't get to enjoy him for another year, but he has a lot of talent. And this is his only year starting, coming in after Cole Pickett and what he's been able to do for that program. And here lead him to the same spot, to that state championship football game. And he's played well. He's put the ball right on the money so many times tonight.
Here they'll give it to Reeves again, sweeping the right side. Reeves inside the 45, gets inside the 40. We knocked down there at about the 37 with 15 seconds. The clock temporarily stops.
Reeves, another senior.
And they're going to put ice. They're putting the Gatorade on Coach Casto.
We got to go get the bucket, guys.
They put the ice on Coach Casto.
Brandon Leitner will go get the bucket.
And the thing about it is that Coach Casto did not expect it at all.
Sideline warning, I think.
He didn't see it. He did not see it happen. That was a great one. You need to ask him about that one.
I think they've gotten Coach Norcross, too, out
there.
They did. Yeah.
They got Coach Norcross, too. Here Ashworth's going to call his own number again inside the 27, and that's all she wrote. 2021 Class 1 State High School Football Champions. 6th year in a row goes to the Riverheads Gladiators. They are 2021 High School Football State Champions.
9 state championship for this program, all under Coach Casto. Riverheads did not have a playoff victory before Robert Casto is the coach for these Gladiators. He has taken them on an incredible run, 261 career wins, 9 state champions, 50 straight wins, 25 straight playoff wins 4th undefeated complete season, 3rd in a row. That's why there's a long winning streak. Only one player going to shake hands with Galax right down there has lost a football game, and that is Noah Smiley. All the rest have won their entire varsity careers at Riverheads. All kinds of marks for these seniors, for this group of young men that just won the 6th state championship in a row for this program, 9th overall.
Congratulations to Coach Robert Casto and his high school football team, his coaching staff, on winning another high school football state championship game, 45-14 over the Galax Maroon Tide, and they end another undefeated season, moving to 14-0 to the Riverheads Gladiators there, Joe.
Yeah, it was a dominating performance today again for Riverheads, like every other game this season. And for Riverheads, it's number 50. It's another win. It's another state championship. But for a lot of these kids, hey, for some of them, it's their first varsity state championship. So they still have that, important moment. It's a new experience for them. It's great. Yeah, but, for this program, it's just, business as usual. We're kind of used to seeing it.
It was business-like today, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah.
They just came in, they played the opponent that was in front of them, and they dominated. It was 45-14. And honestly, really,
could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Yep. And for Galax, I know they came out, they put up more points than I thought they might today, which is good for them. But they're not a bad football team. They're just not the same level as Riverheads. And I think that's, sometimes what gets lost in translation when we're talking about these games that Riverheads plays in. These other teams just aren't on the same level as Riverheads. They're so much better. I mean, there's been one close state championship game since I've been here, and it was the first time Galax played here at Salem. The 2 Chilhowys, the other Galax, and now this one have all been blowouts.
Yeah, it's just, it's dominance that the state of Virginia has never seen before.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we're saying with this winning streak, with this consecutive state championship mark. This is domination of a classification that we've never seen before in the state of Virginia. That absolutely is owned by Riverheads. The most dominant team in the state of Virginia of all time is what Riverheads has been doing these last 6 years.
Yeah, tremendous football game. Domination for sure by the Gladiators. 6 in a row, and now they are the lone top dog in America with the longest high school football winning streak in America, consecutive wins. 50 in a row. And it's active. It is active. I understand it. I said consecutive, didn't I?
Consecutive.
Active. That's right, yeah. So it is 50, and they surpass Bixby High School in Bixby, Oklahoma, sitting at 49. So we'll send it out to break, and when we come back, we will have the Stanton Augusta YMCA postgame show. You're listening to the state championship Saturday, 45-14. Riverheads gets the victory here on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
At the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA, we love to hear the sound of basketballs bouncing on the hardwood. After all, basketball was invented at the YMCA, and since the time Dr. James Naismith first put a ball into a peach basket, we've never stopped innovating. The YMCA is a great place to pursue your health and fitness journey, but it's also a great place to find community and make an impact. Join the Stanton Augusta Family YMCA today as we serve our community through healthy living, youth development, and social responsibility. We'd love for you to be part of our YMCA family.
Have you spent the past months and even years talking about that cool draft coming in around your doors? Are you tired of watching dollars fly out the window and take your heat with it? Virginia Frame Builders and Supply on Expo Road in Fishersville has the knowledgeable staff and products to fix these issues and many more. Whether you're looking at a new front entry door or replacement windows, Virginia Frame has exactly what you need. Call in or stop by today and let their sales staff help make your dreams a reality. Virginia Frame Builders and Supply. Quality buildings and supplies since 1975.
The used car market has been turned upside down, so don't take the first offer or a lowball trade value. Get an offer in minutes for your used car or truck at MasterTech Automotive. MasterTech Automotive will pay you cash on the spot. That's right, cash in your pocket. MasterTech Automotive will buy your vehicle from you, so stop in today. MasterTech Automotive has a great selection of used cars and trucks too. Come in to browse. They also offer auto repair estimates and are constantly saving people money by getting a second opinion for their repairs and maintenance. Get your estimate at MasterTech Automotive, where you're not just a customer, you're a friend. 303 Lee Jackson Highway in Stanton.
Deerfield Grocery is not just a grocery store. They are so much more, starting with a hot deli bar, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, homemade biscuits, carry-out pizza, chicken wings, hamburgers, hot dogs, pork barbecue, just to name a few. Check out the selection of groceries, canned goods, cold beverages, beer, and wine. Plus, new to the store, hardware products for sale. Hardware, electrical, and plumbing products are now in stock. Come see the changes at Deerfield Grocery and grab you a bite to eat. Deerfield Grocery, 3070 Deerfield Valley Road in Deerfield, open 7 days a week from 6 to 8 p.m. and now hiring for part-time help at Deerfield Grocery. Looking for a really good plumbing service? Do you need your water heater service? Faucets fixed? Do you have a clogged drain or just a slow runner? Well, Cox Construction in the Shenandoah Valley is your complete plumbing service. They work on well pumps, clogged drains, leaky faucets, and they use their hot water draining cleaning system to get it done correctly. They use their drain line jetting equipment to clean your pipes like new. Call Cox Construction today in the Shenandoah Valley if you're needing a good plumbing service company. Call them at 540-943-8723 and let Cox Construction treat you like family.
Dave Brooks Electric. No job too small or too big. For more than 25 years, Dave Brooks Electric has served the electrical needs of residents, commercial, and industrial clients in and around Augusta County. And you can count on quality work at competitive rates. Wiring for new construction and remodels, service upgrades, bucket truck services, and more. When you need a qualified electrician, Dave Brooks Electric responds quickly. Their team of professionals are waiting to earn your business. For additional information, browse the website at davebrookselectric.com or give them a call today at 540-280-4483.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ESPN 1240 The Boss. We're in the postgame show. Riverheads has just been crowned state champion for the 6th consecutive season in Class 1 in the VHSL with a final score of 45-14 as the Gladiators came out and took care of business today against the Galax Maroon Tide for the 3rd consecutive season. It was a monumental day for the Gladiators on the ground. Kate Cook-Cash leading the way, 19 carries, 230 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Chip, that is an average of 12.1 per carry. Then you had Luke Bryant, 14 carries, 175 yards with a touchdown of his own. That's 12.5 per carry. Those two backs really carried the day for the Gladiators and just put so much space between the Gladiators and Galax.
I mean, obviously when you're having Luke Bryant and also, Caden Cook-Cash getting around the edges. The edges were open tonight, and they had a monumental, historical night running around the edges. Galax did a good job stopping the fullback, but, they left the edges wide open, and Caden Cook-Cash and Luke Bryant definitely changed it in.
They did, and defensively, Galax finally got some offense going when they threw the ball a little bit more in that second half, and they got some rushing yards there at the end. Reeves really racked up a lot of carries there in the fourth quarter for some big yards, including a huge touchdown run of 41 yards. That gave him 15 carries, 88 yards on the day with that touchdown. Ashworth had 18 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. But Ashworth, again, 14 of 23, 1 interception, 131 yards through the air. And that's kind of, the Riverheads defense, when the game was in doubt, I guess, or up for grabs, did not allow Galax to have a ton of success. They struggled to move the ball, and for the Maroon Tide, and that's what it boiled down to. We said to win this game, they needed to have long, lengthy drives that ended in points. They didn't do that. Riverheads, they didn't have big plays in the first half, but there in the second half, they had them in bunches, and it just really put an insurmountable lead between Riverheads and Galax, and they were never able to recover.
Yeah, I thought the defense for Riverheads was outstanding here tonight. I mean, they when Ashworth, tried to drop back in the pocket, they were always, surrounding him, flushing him out. Although he made some real good plays here tonight, I thought that, just what, Riverheads was able to do and was able to, do defensively, really limiting the run. I mean, I don't know how many they ended up with. You are right, they had some late game, rushing yards. But all in all, Riverheads stopped the running game for Galax here tonight, and that was the defining factor in the ball game.
It was, and it really changed things and made it kind of that that moment where they weren't going to come back and win this game. I mean, look, Riverheads had 442 yards rushing as a team today, 486 total yards. It's just they're not going to lose when that's the case. And Galax, we said they had to play a perfect game. Just flat out, they didn't. And in fact, they had a lot of mistakes. And that was the difference today. And Riverheads, it's why they have a 50-game win streak, the longest active win streak in the country. It's why they're chasing down the all-time state record for most consecutive wins. It's because they don't make a lot of mistakes. And when the other team does, Riverheads waste no time in exploiting it and adding to their point total.
Yeah, I mean, Riverheads, they really played a great football game tonight, Joe. They came in with a great game plan. Everything they did here this evening really, worked out for them. I mean, rushing the football. I mean, Caden Cook-Cash had a tremendous evening getting around the edges. I think the only thing that I think they would probably like to have done a little bit better tonight was maybe see Cole Burton get a little extra yardage, add on to his stats a little bit. But other than that, I mean, what they were able to do rushing the football, what they were able to do defensively, schematically, I mean, just almost a perfect football game put on by Riverheads here tonight.
And I'll toss it over to Leland, get his thoughts, because he's down on the field waiting for Coach Casto. But Leland, your thoughts as a former Riverheads Gladiator yourself, to see this program reach the heights it's been able to reach?
It's just unimaginable, having played in the program back winning the 2000 state championship. I just never would have thought they'd have this continued year after year success of winning state championships. I always thought they'd be successful and win a lot of games, but these are records in existence.
We'd like to say congratulations to Riverheads
championships. That had never been done before.
Yeah, and the weather is kind of bad down there, so Leland was in and out a little bit, but we got the main aspect that there's record breaking, and he's happy to see it, but he didn't expect it, and it's there's a difference between success and historic success, and that's what we're seeing at Riverheads is historic success, Chip.
Yeah, I mean, it's Coach Casto building a once in a lifetime program, really implementing everything that he thinks is going to be successful, all to the picture, the state picture here. I mean, look at him down there. He's just doing everything he can to show his kids the right way to do things. And, it always comes back that if you do things perfectly, you want to be perfect. I mean, if you ever saw the show, Friday Night Lights,
right,
where, be perfect, that's what the players say to each other. That's Riverheads football. Be perfect, do everything you can to be perfect tonight when you line up, when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, try everything you can to be perfect. And, they make mistakes. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. And I'm sure Coach Casto and all of them, they understand that. But what do you do to rebound off of it? What do you do to if you make a mistake, what's your next move? And it's to be perfect. It's another move. Hey, be perfect, and it just builds such a charisma. It builds so many good things amongst the program. And, and here they are, 6-time state champion.
And Leland getting ready to talk to Coach Casto now on the field with the interview.
We'll
here
get him
after
after
Coach Casto.
Say hi to his family.
Yes,
yeah.
Congratulations from his family.
From his family.
On the 6th state championship in a row for this program. And again, the Riverheads Gladiators just adding to the trophy case there in Greenville, Virginia. And for the Gladiators, it's just more historic success. This program is currently on a run that I don't think many people would have seen coming, and we'll go ahead and get ready to toss it to Leland McCray here in just a moment.
He's going to talk to the team first. Talk to the team.
He's going to talk to his team.
He's going to talk to his team, but we're getting ready to toss it to Leland for the coach interview. But again, I mean, this is just something special that this Riverheads Gladiators team has been able to do, and with all the success they have had, and 50 straight, and what that means for the state record, and what that means for the longest active streak in the nation, and they've already broken the VHSL record for most consecutive state championships. They break their own record, extending it to 6 now.
Yeah, I mean, here we are. We're at 6 state titles in a row. We're at 50 consecutive wins. Currently the longest active win streak in America, and it's just a great tribute to the program that Coach Casto has built.
And here's Coach Casto.
So, Coach Casto, let's talk about this group of boys right here. You just, commended them on all the effort that they put into this season. What's the feelings here for this group of guys to, cap it off with another state championship?
Their work ethic is unbelievable. The time they put in and the effort that they put in to be successful. It's a lot of pressure on young, 18-year-old young men when they've got something that's behind them and they've got to kind of live up to it. It's not fair that people put that much pressure on these kids. It's just a game. But, I read articles all the time about, 49 ball games and 50 and state records and this and that. That's a lot of pressure on kids, but they handled it. They stayed focused. They stayed the course. And like I told them, I couldn't be any more proud of them.
I'm going to start with your defense. Your defense absolutely held Galax back, into the second half, and they played a heck of a football game, coming up with plays unit big tackles, containing Ashworth. He's a tough player to contain, and he did the best at it. Talk about your defensive effort.
I thought defensively we were really good. They broke a couple of plays late in the ball game, but I thought for the most part at the beginning and, first half especially, our defense was on point. We were up 15-0 at the half. We obviously made a few adjustments here and there. We got some running games in the second half. And, Caden ran well, Luke ran well, Layton ran well. They bottled up the goal, but I knew, and I said at the time, I know what the plan's to pull back, and we were able to kind of use him as a defense. But, the other guys, all the credit goes to offensive line, what they did. We were in the trenches there, a bunch of kids, and they played hard. We played hard, and again, we're just glad to come out on top.
In a post-game a couple of weeks ago, hey, we have Caden Cook had 4 touchdowns tonight, 240, 30 yards. He also had Luke Brown with 175 and a touchdown himself. Talk about that, how much the production for those two backs.
I thought Caden ran extremely well in the first half. Luke ran extremely well in the second half. The thing that made it happen is blocking. We've got a 250-pound guy that's sort of like a tight end over there. Luke blocked for him. Again, our offensive line are the ones that have done some heroes for all the yardage that we got. They were in the trenches, they were banging, and that's where it all starts.
The ice that came a little early there, that ice surprised me on the sidelines out the clock still running.
Yeah, I thought because it's raining, I sweat already. Yep. But they did get me. Because I thought I'd kind of tripped. Nah, they got it.
Well, you've had enough opportunity. It's run of 6 straight, 9 overall. You've had a lot of experience trying to avoid the ice. Let's talk about the history for a second. Coach, this is 6 straight state championships. It's 5 or 50 wins in a row. Incredible run this program had, capped off with this group just some success here from the last 6 years of Riverheads Gladiator football.
It's a lot of guys. We've had a lot of guys come through the door here at Riverheads and contributed to everything that we have. And again, it all starts with the kids and their work ethic and what they put in and what they bring to the table. And obviously our coaches are, we've been at it for a long time together. And the guys that are, we have some young guys with a lot of energy. We have some of us old guys. We just kind of man the fire sometimes.
So, Coach, congratulations here on another state championship victory. And thanks for talking to us.
I appreciate it.
That was Coach Robert Casto. Talking about
Leland,
6 straight.
Too close to the microphone. Phone's too close. So we appreciate the interview, though. And, again, that was Coach Casto taking the time to talk to us. We do appreciate that. But it's a big state championship for Riverheads, 45-14 final. The Gladiators over the Galax Maroon Tide. And, honestly, you have some options for your player of the game. But the one that leaps out, Caden Cook 230 yards on the 19 carries and 4 touchdowns. And that's just his offensive numbers. That's not talking about the defensive numbers.
I mean, just a tremendous, tremendous evening for number 33. It's hard to believe this guy's a sophomore. I mean, it really is. Here he is. He is a sophomore. He's going to get player of the game. It's a no-brainer. And, and another thing is that we've got 2 more years of this guy. I mean, he could potentially – this guy's got an opportunity. If he stays healthy and gets strong, I mean, he's got an opportunity to be maybe a big-time college football player. I mean, he's got a lot of size.
He does.
And speed, you put mixed speed and size, you get a lot of schools want to talk to you. And, and that's going to be interesting to see if he's able to, if some schools come in. But he's got a bright future ahead of him, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he does have a lot of talent and a lot of size, and that helps, right? I think that's been one of the bigger problems I'm not saying it's fair at all, as a fellow short person. I don't think it's fair at all that sometimes they look at that height and they're like, oh, look how good he is, but he's not big and he's not tall enough to play here. So sometimes that is an overlooking factor. For Caden Cook-Cash, that's not going to be a problem. He's got height.
He's got height, yeah.
He can run the ball, and he runs the ball hard. That's the other thing they're going to like, because sometimes you wonder, like, oh, well, what about the competition he's doing against? Well, he is running through people, and that power translates on film. So I think that's going to be great for Caden Cook-Cash. I hope he is able to stay healthy. I hope that schools will give him a fair shake when they look at him and not look at, he's in the smallest classification in Virginia and all that stuff, because he definitely is a very good football player, and he's going to have the size, too, to help him out in terms of scouts looking at him. And, again, a phenomenal game today in a state championship again. 230 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then you have Luke Bryant as well. You throw him in the mix, 175 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrific performance, just like Coach Casto mentioned. I mean, defensively, they played a will of a football game. Offensively, they did everything they wanted to do. I mean, like you mentioned, the only thing that he would have liked to see a little bit more of was Cole Burton getting loose a little bit. And that's it. I mean, but other than that, working the edges, I mean, they had a monster evening working the edges here tonight. I mean, Luke Bryan had a will of a football game. Caden Cook-Cash had a will of a football game. I mean, and then Bennett. I mean, Bennett played well, too. I mean, he had a good game, too. I mean, anything they wanted to do outside on the edge there, they were able to do. And then defensively, they did a great job as well.
Leland? Okay, Leland is catching himself here.
Catching up where you guys left off here. I'm looking at my notes here and trying to remember what you guys said, but I do want to talk a little bit about this run. It's been 50 straight wins. It's been since 2018 since they lost. They average over 48 points a game since that point. They only give up about 11 points a game. It's just an incredible, dominating run.
It really is. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's and I want to tell all the people that are listening in Augusta County, in surrounding areas. I mean, guys, we have got something. This is something special. I mean, you can't take anything like this for granted. I mean, this right here is once in a lifetime stuff. We've got right now the best, most consecutive winning, football team, as far as actual winning games in America. I mean, and that's just, to me, that is amazing. And it's something that you just cannot look around. But then 6 in a row, 6 state championships in a row. I mean, I don't know if that will ever be broken again. I mean, that is a huge feat. Do you know how good and dominating you have to be to win 6 state championships?
Yes, good.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that we're watching it. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. But I don't know if we'll ever see it again. We're not going to see it again in our lifetime. I don't think we'll ever see it again in our lifetime.
I would be shocked. And for people in our area, they're tired of hearing about Riverheads. You got to respect what you're seeing. And, this is a team, a lot of people will push it to, Riverheads, well, they're class 1. That's a big part of this. Man, they're good.
Ask Lord Botetourt that. Yeah. Ask Lord Botetourt that. I mean,
look at their regular season, like over these 50 games, 11 of them have been against class 3, 16 of them against class 2.
I mean, their conference alone. I mean, you take a look at their conference alone. They don't play any other 1A teams except for Gap. Except for Gap. Yeah. I mean, other than that, everybody else is up. I mean, Wilson's been 3. Fort Defiance has been 3. Harrisonburg. I mean, they played Harrisonburg. They played a bunch of teams in the area.
They haven't played Harrisonburg, but you're looking.
TA's one of them.
You're looking for. They struggle with getting games. People don't want to play Rivers. They don't want to be another loss. From part of the winning streak for Riverheads. They go out and find games. They had Lord Botetourt. They get messed up with a game and can't find anybody. They play Stewart's Draft twice. It's not like they're going to the bottom of the Shenandoah District like, hey, guys, let's play 2 games. No, they went to Stewart's Draft, the team that had been in the state championship 2 years in a row, and they said, let's do it twice. They're not scared of playing anybody. They put their records and runs that they have on the line, and they still go out and find a way to win.
Well, we're talking about an instant Hall of Fame coach in definitely the state of Virginia. I wouldn't be surprised, if they start noticing it as well in Canton. I mean, if they have something, I know in some areas in Canton, they have areas where they put certain things for high school programs and things like that. And it could be down the road, but he's an instant Hall of Famer in the state of Virginia. Yeah. There is no doubt about that at all. I mean, the minute that he says, and I don't want to see it, and I'm sure everybody at Riverheads don't want to see it, but the minute it ever does happen, within that year, he's going to go in.
And I guess you're right about that. and I'll focus on that first, and then I want to go back to something Leland was talking about with scheduling. But Coach Casto, what he has done has never been done in the state of Virginia. And You're right. It may never be done again. You hate to say never, but It's going to be really hard. You've seen a lot of teams get to 4, but then that 5th one, they lose, or they don't win the 5th one.
Well, we're at 6 now.
No one's ever won 5 except for Riverheads, who's now won 6. So you've seen multiple teams get to 4 and not be able to win that 5th. There's a lot of teams that win 3 but can't get the 4th. So it is historic. But I want to go back to what Leland was saying about can't find teams to play. And this is a message to the athletic directors in the area that Riverheads wants to play. Their fans travel. So let me get it to you because you don't
hot
care.
Dogs,
you're worried. Yeah, you're worried about losing or whatever, and that may happen. But their fans are going to travel. That's gate. That's concessions. So do it to support your own athletic budget, if nothing else. If you don't want to play
when they
them.
went to Tazewell this year, they sold the game as here comes Riverhead. Here's the circus coming to town. Here's the greatest team in the state of Virginia on its incredible run coming to Tazewell, and their fans were excited to see.
Yes.
And so I think locally and up and down 81, where it's a little bit easier of road games, I think you could take advantage of that. And
well, another thing. Now, here's another thing. All right, the fact that they have started showing up nationally. I know when I was playing basketball at Lehigh and we were starting to show up, we were ranked in the top, 25 in the country. The team that we started getting teams out of state. We started getting some teams that were national, other than that, like St. John's came down from New York. They came down and played. And that could be something as well, since they are starting to show up on the national radar. There might even be some teams that, I know there's a team up in West Virginia that they played at Riverheads.
Greenbrier East, I think.
Well, but I thought that team up in Martinsburg. Didn't they? No, that was Lee that took on Martinsburg. But Martinsburg's got a great high school tradition as well.
Yeah,
Maybe they might
West
start.
Virginia
They start talking about teams like that.
But I guess my point is Riverheads shouldn't have to play schools that are 3 or 4 times bigger than they are in terms of classification.
Well, I agree with that too. But I don't think Coach Casto's worried about it.
He's not. But they shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be that hard.
I agree with that.
If you're an AD,
I do
you're
agree
going to
with
make
that.
money. Say home and home.
Yeah.
You're going to make money that your Riverheads comes to your stadium.
Yeah, I totally
money.
agree with what you're saying, bro. I really do. And you're right. You hit it right on there. They should not have to go to 5A schools, 4A schools, and say, hey, we're just having a hard time finding anybody down here to play. Can we come to you? Because you are correct. I mean, sooner or later.
They shouldn't even have to be called Skyline up in Front Royal or Lord Botetourt down in Roanoke.
Yeah. That Lord Botetourt game, and they've got Lord Botetourt on the schedule, for the upcoming year. But here's the fact. Here's what we're missing. This Riverheads ball club has tons of talent coming back. We just sat here and called a sophomore in the state championship game that had 200 yards
and
had
player.
four touchdowns. He's going to be an all-state player.
He's been all district. He's been all region, and now he's going to be
all-state.
As soon as they vote on it, he's all-state offensive player.
He might be player of the year in the state.
Should be.
Yeah, because he had 4 touchdowns in the state championship game.
East Rock.
Sophomore.
Call him up.
Yeah, but here's what I'm trying to say. We're at 6. Bro, we're going to get 7. I mean, we stand we're at a 95 percentile chance of going to 7 next year. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that they just have that kind of talent.
They do.
They have that kind of talent.
They're the favorites, not just because they won it this year, it's because of what they built and have carried on for every years and what they have coming back. Quarterbacks coming back, Bennett Dunlap. Running back, all the backfield, really, except for Cole. Caden Cook Cash and Luke Bryant, both coming back. They've scored 5 touchdowns in this game tonight. They both play a mean defense. Luke on the defensive end. Caden.
They're young on the line, defensive line.
Hostetler, the man that made the interception. Sophomore. I mean, they just have all kinds of talent coming back naturally, and these are the kids that are growing up in Greenville. I mean, that's what these guys are.
I mean, usually, when you take a look at a ball club like this, your coach, the head coach will be saying, oh, well, we got sophomores. We're young, No, they're winning 6-time state champions. And here they are getting ready to say, well, we got a junior coming back who just scored 4 touchdowns. I mean,
and what's the other thing we talk about? What's the other thing we talk about with Riverheads? Their kids know this system. So the youngsters playing right now, they know the system by the time they get here. So it's not like, oh, we've got a bunch of freshmen who don't know what we do here. No, they know what they do, and he hones it.
And that's the interesting thing, that this program's built so stably here. And if, we saw Coach Casto 3 years ago say,
I'm done. I'm going to enjoy some retirement. That day will come at some point, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 4 years from now, whenever it is. This program is built to last beyond him. And I think that's the biggest credit you can give Coach Casto, is that he's built this machine that's going to be able to run on past him whenever that time comes to an end. You know, they have such good coaches in place. They have the young guys that played for him now being assistant coaches, wanting to do everything they can for this program, that he's built this ship that I think he doesn't even necessarily have to captain to continue to succeed.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a well of a job that this guy's done. I mean, like I said, instant Hall of Famer. I mean, he is the mark for sure. He's the one who set it, set the bar. And, and it's something we've never seen especially in Augusta County. I mean, we've never seen anything like this in our life. I mean, and it does
even going to other sports.
It does lead me to this. And I told you all about this earlier, that the only other person I've had an opportunity to be around that even is in the same ballpark as this guy is Coach Paul Hatcher. Paul Hatcher was a legend, and he won. They had an 85-game winning streak. I mean, they won 85 games in a row. They got put into the Hall of Fame, and with the Naismith Hall of Fame, and the Lehigh basketball jersey is in the Hall of Fame, and that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. It's the same exact kind of stuff, and we'll see it. We probably will see it, But the thing I want to mention too as well is that I did get word today that Coach Paul Hatcher is not doing well, and he has been taking a sit back with his health, and I just want to send all my love and all my wishes to Coach Hatcher, and my thoughts to Coach Hatcher, his family, all the Lehigh, program, all the Stanton program, people that grew up, all the people that grew up loving Coach Paul Hatcher, still love Paul Hatcher. I would have never been a coach. Never would have been a coach. Never would have had an opportunity to be a coach if Paul Hatcher didn't look me in the eyes and say, Chip, you can do it. You can be a coach. And when I heard those words, it was all said and done. I told myself I want to be a coach, and I was able to do that. But it never would have happened without Paul Hatcher, and I owe him that. But I want to send all my love and all my thoughts to the Hatcher family. I hope he can pull through it. He's had a rough stretch here these last few weeks, and I'm praying to the good Lord above.
And we're all thinking about him, and it just does remind you of these are two legendary coaches in the state of Virginia. Coach Paul Hatcher, you're talking about there, who's on the backside of his career, and Coach Casto, who's you're still at it and still winning state championships, and that's the kind of impact that you're talking about with Coach Hatcher. How many kids has Coach Casto had as well? I mean, and this is line them straight up. How much impact both these coaches have had in our community is better for these two guys.
No doubt
having
about it.
a long tenured success that they have and built the standard. They both raised the standards of everyone around them. I mean, no team in Augusta County had won a state championship until Riverheads did it. And then Buffalo Gap did, and we've seen Wilson and Stuart Draft and Stanton come up close since then. And he's raised the standard of what it takes to be a good football team in our area, just like Coach Hatcher did, in the 70s and 80s and 90s with all the winning that Lehigh basketball did.
And another thing is that kids hang on every word Coach Casto says.
Yes.
I mean, they really do. When Coach
right
Casto will sit there and tell you, you did a good job, you worked hard. I mean, that means something. That, and we talked about this the other day, and, and the fact that we do this at WTON, we put on the Children's Christmas Radiothon, where we raise money for some of the neediest kids. And you never know what kid needs to hear, you did a good job, son. You worked hard. And, it could have been a kid who didn't get to play much, sort of down about his thoughts, saying, I didn't play that much. Coach Casto shook my hand. He told me I did a good job. Congratulations.
I mean, this is a coach that after the state championship football game, he goes to the middle of that group as I'm waiting for a post-game interview, and he goes to about the lowest voice that I ever hear him talk. And he has every kid hears everything he says because that's how zoned in they are on every word he says. And you talk about a coach helping players. Twice this year, I've had to go to Coach Casto's house to get a pregame interview the week of because he's busy driving kids home and doing what it takes. And there's stories of him at this previous school when he's coaching out in Chincoteague, having to drive kids home after football games. He's done that his entire career. And it's that kind of commitment and standard that he has set that's led him to this success. He coached at Chincoteague that hadn't done any kind of winning, and he makes a winner out of him. And then he comes to Riverheads, who had not done any kind of winning. He makes a winner out of him. And that's what he has done. And he's a great example to any coach out there that wants to coach this game.
High character. That's what he is. He's nothing but character. Right. And he expects character out of the people that work with him.
There's no other option.
That's it.
Well, I guess that's a good place to call this one here for the 2021 season. It is, again, 45-14. The Riverheads Gladiators defeat the Galax Maroon Tide in the state championship game. Just some other scores
Phoebus won 22-14 over LCA. Stonebridge came back and won over Maury 27-21.
What a perfect afternoon for Leland and I in our calls of the games. But Riverheads
I was
again.
too loud on the mic, right?
Yeah, going a little close, but that's okay. Riverheads again, 45-14. They beat Galax in the state championship here in Class 1-4. The 6th consecutive state championship, the 50th consecutive win for Riverheads football. And we will be back next season here on ESPN 1240 The Boss with more high school football. I know Chip Crable and possibly Bill Piner, maybe Leland McCrae in a pinch, will be doing some high school basketball for you this winter as well. So keep the radios to ESPN 1240 The Boss all year long for great local sports coverage. Until then, folks, for Chip Crable, Leland McCrae, and Patrick Brown at the studio, I'm Joe Deck. Thanks for listening to high school sports on ESPN 1240 The Boss, and good night.
High school